my buddy Dash for this episode of Double Take. Dave, how? I just said joined by Dash, but we're joined by Dash
Talking
and
in
Dave.
the third person.
Third
That's
person.
weird.
The way you feel.
Well, hey everybody! Happy call-in show. It's another call-in show. This
Before
time
we
actually
started, were you
have
like
Dave.
squeezing your tits together?
No, I had my hands like this. I had my phone. I was looking at Discord. So like,
Oh, so you were
I
okay.
have the rock boobies. It makes them bounce up and down.
I'm sorry. It's just I just saw it. Like
The Arnold. I am doing the Arnold. It's just my shirt is black. You cannot see it in the lights. I'm flexing the boobies.
and I ruined your intro, so there you go.
It's
That's
okay.
usual.
Well, anyways, it's funny because I'm talking about Arnold. Is Netflix Fubar actually a really good show? Arnold.
Is it actually?
It is actually pretty entertaining. I've watched I watched the first 2 episodes, so it's like pretty. I didn't expect it because you think Arnold's like in his 60s and it's like the dude could barely like walk or move, but it's actually funny. And the thing is if you watch like old Arnold like movies and stuff like that, there's some really nice Easter eggs for people that have seen stuff like it's ironic because we have a bunch of Arnold sound bites, but like for example, he does this.
Get to the chopper!
Who is
He
your
does
daddy
this.
and what does he do?
So yeah, if you watch Fubar, like all of his like sound bits and like all the sound bits that we have, he's literally said them in the first 2 episodes, and it's like freaking amazing. Like I love it. But anyways, guys, I segued in shameless plug for Netflix. You guys owe me a couple of bucks in ad revenue. You're welcome because nobody's using your product because it's shit because you have to pay $7 to share a password. Who does that? Netflix does. But anyways, guys, we're here to talk about not double D's, but ACs. Get it? AC Milan. And whoever says that is a casual. But anyways,
one A and one C. That would be very lopsided. That's awkward.
very lopsided, just like this. But
You'd have to get it custom made, bro.
I know. We're here to talk some AC Milan. We're also doing the call-in show as well. So we're gonna throw in the link as well so you guys can hop in. Dave's here. Dave's finally back. It's been 2 weekends without Dave. Big shout out, big ups to Misak for hopping in and jumping in, as well as to Hamza, good friend Tom as well. Frankie should be off today. He told me in the Discord. He said it's time to drive home. So Frankie, if you don't come in, I'm about to do some straight Gatti slander. That's how you trigger. That's how you get Frankie to come out of the shadows. You start talking smack about Gatti. Frankie pops out of nowhere.
Imagine right now he just got home from work and he's just in his pantry just eating everything. The after work munchies.
Yeah,
He's just
for
eating
real.
everything.
Real. So yeah, we're gonna see that, and then like I'll just like say something about Gatti, and then Frankie will pop out of me here and be like, "I'm Gatman." But Bone's saying, "Yeah, they're losing people now because I'm not paying for it." Yeah, absolutely. And our good friend Sam says, "I am at the gym with some show-off loud people around. Don't think you want me calling in."
Actually, we do. Yes,
I want you calling in, grunting as loud as you can.
Just like put your phone up by the rack and just do some deep squats for us.
And you got to do it with like a really bad German accent. Like while you're calling in, we'll be like, "Hey Sam, what you doing?" "I am doing the bench press. I am working on the pectorals and then a little bit of the triceps. And then we do some curls. We do the biceps. We work on that. Biceps get the ladies. Ladies love the biceps." That is an Arnold quote again. But work on the triceps because dates get more triceps. We have to do this. And then we really want to do the squats. I thought it's like, oh my goodness! I thought we left Sam on Thursday.
Is that German or Arabic?
No, I don't know.
Arabic? It's Arabic.
It's like a deeper German. It's kind of true though because like my deeper German kind of sounds a little bit Arabic. But I don't know. It is. And then Sam says I can do some Arabic Saddam Hussein accent. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's been dead since 2011. They killed him.
Yeah, they took him out. He is gone. They found him in ditch, and yeah, watch that.
Well, they hung him. Remember?
I know they took him out of the ditch, and then they hung him out to dry. Yikes!
Yeah.
We just went a dark turn.
I mean,
No.
that's world history, man. That's just how she is.
Yeah, that's true. But shameless plugs, guys. If you have not seen our latest show with a guest, watch the video that we did on Thursday with Sam and Damo.
It's not
Again,
really a guest. He's just the awkward uncle that you invite once in a while.
yeah, that's true. The one that makes masturbation jokes. But again, I would not recommend you have children in the room when you're watching that. Also, headphones because it is not safe for work. I actually designed a disclaimer for that episode, so
Yeah,
it's
that
actually
one
pretty
that
funny.
one went off the rails.
Yeah, that one went absolutely bonkers. Like I made 2 just to make sure. So like we have this one up here if you guys are watching that pops up on the left, TVMA, and then I actually made a video clip for this, which is actually pretty funny. This is not a disclaimer, but this is just for comedic purposes.
The following program is rated TV MA LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
So I did that, and it was funny because Sam tried like so hard not to laugh, but I could tell that he was like chuckling inside. So it was pretty funny.
Yeah, no, that was a fun one. I'm glad we did it. Sam always has a good time, especially when he's allowed to be unleashed like that. But that being said, I think we've delayed enough. You guys have rolled in here. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us Saturday night. We will share the link in just a bit. We got to go over Milan. That's the first thing to do. We talked about this. It doesn't matter, really, does it?
It really, at this point, I know it sounds like, I know we're like taking a page out of BZ's playbook and just sounding miserable and doom and gloom, but honestly, there's not really much for the last 2 games because, like, in theory, we've locked up 7th place. There is the opportunity to climb up, but hypothetically speaking, if we're looking at a European ban, and we're looking at a European ban, like we're not, it doesn't matter what place you finish, but in theory, talking about if you're one of those people that are focusing on European finishing, that is one thing. Wow, that sounds weird. But if you're looking at it from money distribution from Serie A, of course, 4th, 5th, and 6th have more money than 7th.
Yeah.
So Juve have got the opportunity. So they have a game in hand against Atalanta and Roma, and then as well. So if they win this game, they go up to 62 points. Milan's at 64. Then, in theory, if you're shooting for 4th place, you need Hellas Verona to pull a miracle like they did 2 years ago. And then you win, you go over it, and you get 4th place again. And then, all the anti-Juve content creators are going to make another video. 4th place again, we're a failure, we're losers, and blah, 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 blah.
But we should be in second right now.
We didn't improve. The team didn't get better. And, oh, my goodness. I hate life, but I'm just going to milk you guys for video or for ad revenue. So, yeah, it's a little perplexing. I mean, if you guys are thinking that, we're going into the Champions League, I honestly doubt that we're playing in Europe for at least 2 years. I think Sheffrin has a bone to pick with us. And for some reason, it's almost like an ego trip where he's like, it's really like a Bond villain. Mr. Bond, give up your aspirations for the Super League and I'll let you play in the
He's got a sideways face like a Bond villain, too.
He does. He looks like a Bond villain.
He's an ugly bastard.
Yeah, but it's the thing is, it's like, I don't understand it. Like, what? How do you publicly announce that without it like sitting there in your head and like that sounds kind of sketchy? Like, I mean, because is it? Yeah, it's in Milan. This time Verona has to win to stay in Serie A. Is it that close? Can we go back to the table? I thought they were done and done. Oh shit!
It's pretty close.
Oh shit!
Look at that, the win.
They beat Milan the last week. We might, so that means Verona has some incentive.
Yeah.
This actually gets a little bit. I mean, of course, we have to win tomorrow first. Hold on, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, no, but that's the state of affairs, and we should make it clear that yes, we likely will not play in Europe if these bans go through. So it doesn't really matter, and technically, we're in the Conference League right now because Inter won the Copa. Everything gets shifted down one because that spot. I mean, you can't give 2 spots to one team essentially, right? So it all shifts down. We are in a Conference League position. If we get banned from Europe, it doesn't really matter, other than those few $1 million we might get between finishing 6th, 5th, what have you. That's why when we started this, I said doesn't really matter if those bans go through. It just we start our European ban next season and just get it over with, essentially, instead of falling out of Europe this year and then the ban comes into effect the next time we get into Europe. It just pumps up the timelines a little bit. That's all it is. So, yeah, other than some change, we want to beat Milan. We want to win regardless, whatever the result is. But with the debacle going on with the Fidrisi and Coney and all that crap that we really dove a little bit more into on the last podcast there with Sam, with, complete with the masturbation and the swearing. Yeah. It's... Yeah. I don't know what you want to say. That's just how she is right now.
That's how she finishes.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of dive into it because, like, for example, Milan's in kind of, I don't want to say they're kind of in a rut, but they're a little bit in a rut as far as form-wise goes. So you've got it open. So Milan runs my favorite formation, the 4-2-3-1, which honestly I'm starting to think that a lot of more modern teams are shifting to this formation. Obviously, Teo Hernandez and Leao are going to be an absolute menace on that right side for us. So it's going to be Gatti and Cuadrado. Hopefully Gatti doesn't get skinned by Leao, because if he does, Frankie, I'm coming for you. But they have, honestly, probably one of the most underrated players on that squad is Calabria. A lot of people...
I've always liked him, yeah.
He's he comes in, does a service, and gets the job done. Thea, which is a fill-in for Kalou, I believe, because Kalou was injured. And then Tomori, I still think, he's been average this year. And then Benacer is also out as well. So we have shoemakers, as a lot of Milanistas call them, because a lot of people, that's the funny thing, is a lot of Milan fans absolutely hate Salamakers for some reason. And then we have the Real Madrid lease in Brahim Diaz starting in the number 10 position.
Which we got linked to today by not a great source, but we got linked.
I thought, we got linked to Marco Asensio as well.
We're watching, apparently. We're watching out for whatever.
I think, if you're... I think, I don't know.
I'm only bringing these ones up because it's just,
No,
yeah. But like the sources specifically, I'm not trusting the stuff.
I'm just kind of curious who the hell in the club right now is sitting here like, we should go look at Diaz, or we should.
Or Asensio too. Like, why are you looking at Asensio? You don't even know if you have money or what the hell's going on. Why would Asensio come from? Yeah,
Allegri and Asensio, like Asensio's not an Allegri guy, so it's like Allegri is not doing it, so someone inside the club is doing it. Which, again, unless we can do the tinfoil hat theory, is Guntoli is given them his list of players that he wants.
I'm sure he has to,
because it's like because De Laurentiis apparently is not letting him leave, which is interesting.
And how bad of a look is that? I can't reiterate that enough. Both Spalletti and Gintoli leaving ADL the same year after winning a championship. Like, come on, what's going on?
Because ADL is a bum.
Yeah,
we've always known that. De Laurentiis is terrible.
Such a bad look.
Olivier Giroud, who actually got his first area hat trick the last game against Samp. So I think that's their most recent win, because they went 3 matches without scoring, and then they decided to just run riot against Sampdoria, which I believe they did. Yeah, see, lost to Spezia, lost to Inter, beat Samp. So it's their first win in 3 weeks. So Milan's got a little bit of juice going. But for them, again, more so, they want to lock down that 4th place. So with us, we have Danilo, Bremer, and Gatti. Pretty solid back line. I've got no issues on that. And then Kostic, makes sense. You're going for experience. Also, he hasn't been playing as much recently.
Yeah, he's got some rest in his legs. I think he's ready.
Yeah, Rabiot, Locatelli, and Moretti. Rabiot obviously is out the door at the end of the season, so I'm kind of curious if he's going to actually put in a performance or if he's just going to phone it in.
He's still playing for a contract in a sense, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. That's one of the things. Moretti having to come in because Fagioli is out, and I'm a little bit just really concerned about having Moretti in the midfield because Krunic and Tonali will muscle him around like it's nobody's business.
Yeah.
Cuadrado, who turned 35 yesterday, will start out as a right wing back. And allegedly, apparently, he's getting renewed. I don't know who's sitting there thinking we should renew him, but hey.
reduced wages is what I understand with everything that we're these old timers. Sandro, Di Maria, we offered a reduced wage.
He wanted a higher wage. The audacity.
Apparently, okay. So the latest is he wanted to maintain at 6 million, and we offered 4.
Yeah, but still, it's just like, come on, man. Like the audacity.
Yeah, he's old. Well, I mean, I don't know, to maintain the wage. But yes, if we're not going to be playing in Europe, there's a lot of money lost. It's yet to be seen exactly how much, depending on where we would have finished, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, but it's tens of millions of dollars.
And then we have Milik and Di Maria at the top, which I'm a little bit surprised why Keane isn't starting, which Bones is kind of agreeing with me here. Why is he hating on Keane? Yeah, I don't understand. I think you would want to start Keane this game, give him a run. Why not?
Well, the other rumors, which I do not believe, Sky Sport. You can see why I don't believe, but they're calling for a 3-4-3 with Keane at the top of the trident. So
then who's gonna be? So it's Chiesa, Keane, Di Maria.
Yeah, that's what they're looking at.
I guess that makes sense, but
and Gatti to replace Sandro, which okay. Locatelli and Rabiot should be there. Okay, all those were easy to say. But to call it a 3-4-3, I don't know. I heard that twice today. DiMarzio was the other one. So believe that if you will. I don't personally. Every week we hear a 3-4-3, and then it's a 3-5-2. Just get over it. It's not happening.
Yeah, it's not happening.
And if it does happen, it's because Allegri's like, nothing matters anymore. Here, let's toss this shit to the wind.
Just toss it, throw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting because obviously we're going to be in for a really interesting summer. Sure.
It will be. Well, the summer's always interesting, but this one, I think it's going to be, if we're talking about this already, not going to be one of these looking to get big signings. If we do, because we hear SMS, potentially going for 30 million. Do we throw in? I mean, I've heard Rovella. What's the latest now? I don't know. I've heard everyone getting put into an exchange with Rovella. Piaka might be coming back. I mean, throw him in, right? Throw everyone in.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's gonna be like the Fratesi would probably be the biggest take.
Well, what was it? Alexis Sanchez.
Was that an actual thing?
That was an actual thing.
No,
They're saying
I just thought that was a joke.
No, they're saying if Tudor comes, he wants to bring Alexis Sanchez.
Really? No.
So you trade Di Maria for Sanchez. I mean, it was 2013. Hell yeah, I'd take that deal in a heartbeat. But yeah, dude, right? This is my
ridiculous.
Issue. Yeah, this is my issue with this right now. It's like we're doing like all these reporters, all these people. We don't even know what the sporting director is. What? I mean, again, there's so many question marks that's going on right now, and I'm just like sitting here, and it's like, where are we coming up with all this stuff? And then it's like, all the folks I want Tudor. If Tudor comes in with Alexis Sanchez, like with all due respect, I'm not down for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan. It sounds so stupid.
Because and shameless plug here, guys. We are talking with a Marseille podcast on Tuesday about Igor Tudor.
The Marseille View is what they're called.
So
Tuesday. It's going to be a live show. It's going to be a bit earlier. 4:30. I said it was right.
Yeah, you said it was 4:30.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying 4:30 to 5:30. So it is an earlier one. That's Eastern time, of course. And Colo, win again. Who would be the dream signing for both of you, realistically speaking?
It's so it's a good question. The problem is with the context is it's realistically speaking. So like the thing is like I don't know what formation we're gonna play Colo next year. I really don't. And the thing is, it's like say that we do a 4-2-3-1. I would say Paulo, like Dybala, because Dybala fits the hole quite well. If you're doing that, and again, I'm not the biggest fan of Dybala, but he's cheap.
I'm surprised he said that.
I know he's cheap. He's in theory his release clause is ridiculously cheap.
What is it?
It's like less than 20 million.
Misak probably knows what it is.
So the thing is, it's like,
oh, now the caveat comes in. Someone we haven't been linked to.
Yeah, so we did not.
Everyone.
We're not. Yeah, we're not linked to Dybala. But the thing is, it's like it really depends, Colo. Like it honestly depends on how we're gonna play next season and who the coach is. Like I can tell you like players that I would like to see, but it just for me, it doesn't make sense. And it's like, in theory, what did we struggle with this year? We struggled with having a transitional piece in between the midfield and the forward line. What does that mean? You need a number 10. Who's a number 10? Paulo. Problem is again, he's not healthy. He's still injured, as Misak is saying. So we need to look at it from a player that can do that and hold that number 10, essentially that number 10 role. And it's like, you thought it was Di Maria, but he didn't do it. And it's, yeah. And I get it. I totally get it why you're against it, but I think, and I can't think of the player right now. I really can't. Like, there's a player that I can sit there and be like, this guy can start. Because here's the thing. The best statistic a player has is their availability. And that is probably the biggest negative on Dybala's entire career is his availability. But I don't know. Dave, do you have a player that you're sitting there and like, we need to sign this guy right away?
Okay, I'm just going to be ridiculous because he said somebody we haven't been linked to. And I'm just going to make a wild connection. I'm going to go Canadian with it because maybe somebody loves Julia Grosso as much as I do, and Jonathan David wants to come be our striker.
You want David? Hey, what is it? Oliver Kahn and the other guy got fired from Bayern Munich, so apparently Alphonso Davies is not going to be renewing. So you never know.
No, I didn't hear that.
So.
Interesting. Yeah,
it happened. He's
going to go Madrid.
It happened right after Bayern won the title off goal differential, which I think is stupid.
That was why. Okay, we got to talk about that because I put money. I lose on everything, but I was hoping not to lose on this one with my buddy.
That was the only time I really watched Misax's Buchanan. Oh, he wants the American Buchanan. No, that's not it. Buchanan, the Canadian Buchanan.
Midfielder, he's not that good.
If he's talking about Buchanan, I would say Tyler Adams. Tyler Adams is everything you want McKennie to be. He's an American midfielder that bossed that midfield for the United States.
He's on Leeds too, isn't he?
He's on Leeds, yeah.
I guess we're going to North America for our takes here.
I know everybody's bias. I bet you all the Europeans are going to lose their mind. They're like, look at these Western Hemisphere folk.
These guys don't know anything. What a bunch of Yanks.
What a bunch of losers.
Deserve, yeah, okay. Well, we were going with realistic, which I don't think it is.
Hey, if Colo's still in the chat, who does he think? Like, who does he want? I'm curious to see what Colo wants.
Yeah, don't just ask us. We want to know. Everyone wants to know what you know.
Colo, in theory, you could make the next YouTube banger of the player that we say on this.
That's what I was just thinking. Who would you make a video of?
Hey, you want to know? I was going to say, that's why he's asking us. He's asking us for player names so he can make his next confirmation.
Yeah, that's what it is. He's searching for ideas.
It's like, if you use a player that we mentioned on the stream, you got to say proudly recommended by the Turin Giants on that video. It'll make my day. Seriously, and the Misaka is saying it depends on the formation, but realistic.
Oh, he's saying right wing back for Buchanan, is he?
Is he? I don't know. You're Canadian.
A midfielder.
You're Canadian. I'm not.
I don't follow them that closely. Like I did because they finally made the World Cup since '86, so I was excited. But I watched the Azerty more than I watched the Canadian national team. It's just,
is he talking about that right wing back from Argentina that we're linked to? Yeah, Barco. Yeah.
Oh, Barco. Yes. Okay, he's a right wing back. Yes. And he's from is it Brazil, Argentina?
He is Argentinian.
Yeah, Argentina. Yeah. Okay, he said from Argentina. Yeah, but
no, he's left back. Barco. He's a wing back. He's saying Buchanan. Barco's the left back. Okay. I don't know why we're confusing so many names right now.
Is he? Okay. You know what? Let's move on from Buchanan because. Yeah, Tejan Buchanan, playing for Bruges. Brampton, that's right. Brampton creates all the soccer players in Canada.
Yeah. Tyler, so what was it? I said Tyler Adams, and then is there another player that I'm thinking that would be fun to see in Juve colors? I don't know. Oh, we're not linked to him, but the regista for Fiorentina, the Moroccan. I forgot. I can't think of his name. I cannot think of his name right now.
We've gone downhill already.
Yeah, I know. I just, sorry. No preparation whatsoever. It is, keep going. There he is.
Amrabat.
Right. Yes. Amrabat.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
That's it. That's someone I'd
there
like
it is. Boca. Boca's where it is. Okay.
Boca.
Yes, and Amrabat. Everyone's yelling at us today. We don't know anything. We're not prepared.
We're absolute stooges. I kind of actually want to see Amrabat. Is it bad that I want to see him just because I like the way that he's able to dictate play through the middle of the field? He is a defensive midfielder, but he's like an actual natural regista.
26.
He's got good pass accuracy, Misaka. As far as from what I've seen him in the games that I've watched him, he's been able to move the ball quite well. It's not, again, he's not like your He's not like your big provider. Yeah, no, I see it.
Pretty
Oh,
consistent.
you know who's another player I'd want to see? Dia from Salernitana.
Dia. See the profile that you would get?
No, just type in Salernitana. You'll find him there.
Yeah.
He would be tough. He'd be really, really tough to get because the problem with Dia is he's on loan from I believe it was Valencia on the bottom.
Did I miss him?
Keep going.
Dia.
Yep.
Oh,
Boulaye
attacker.
Dia.
Oh, and he's injured. Interesting.
But 33 matches, 16 goals for Salernitana. I think that's,
That's pretty good. Yes, I remember that when we played him. Yeah, he bangs them in.
yeah.
And he can kind of play anywhere, apparently.
He can play anywhere on the front line. He's got speed. He's 26 years old. He's not, he's not a sexy signing, but it's
13 million.
Yeah, it's cheap. I've seen him against some of the better teams in Serie A, and he just takes the ball and runs. Because I think the one thing that we need at Juve is we need a player. Oh, it is Villarreal. Shit, I was wrong. The one thing that we need is a guy that has pace, and I think Dia is one of those guys that is he's not Osimhen, but it's just literally he takes it, runs, and scores. And Misaka's right; he's literally half of Salernitana's goal tally. He is. He scored half of Salernitana's goals, and again, for me, it's you score 16 goals for Salerno, you're doing something right because it's not Salerno essentially is Allegri ball times 10. Think about it. You sit back, play for a 0-0 or 1-0, etc. So it's the fact that he's able to get 16 in a really negative system, it just shows. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And then
now he's asking. First off, hi Oscar. How you doing?
Oscar.
Or Dane, right? He's Danish.
Correct. He is.
Welcome
and
from Denmark.
Colo, other than Rovella, can you guys see any loaned out players returning and having a positive impact next season?
Okay, so who do we have on loan currently?
So I think Zakaria might actually give us something.
He could, yeah.
I think McKennie is out.
Back.
I think he's out the door. I think McKennie and Artur are both out the door. Kulu, so this is good news. Kulu is officially being sold for 35 plus 6 or 8 million
30
bonus.
plus 9 is what I read.
I believe. So near 40 million. So give or take. So Kulusevski is officially out the door. Outside of that, I think the only one, and then Cambiasso as well. I think Cambiasso will make it on the roster as well. But I think Zakaria, because the thing is he's got low stock. I don't think anyone's going to buy him unless we find someone in the Premier League willing to pay 20-25 for him. So I think because with Rabiot out, it essentially opens up a slot for Zakaria. Because Moretti's being loaned out. I don't think Moretti stays. Berenetxe is also gone too. So I think they're going to be loaned out to a mid-table team or a lower table team in Serie A.
No, Moretti needs to go to Regina
Monza?
or something. He's got to go to the south where they just feed him soppressata and spaghetti and just loaves of bread. He just needs to bulk up.
He needs some milk. So yeah, I think Zakaria is probably the one that has an opportunity. I'm not saying that he's gonna do well, or I'm not projecting it, but out of all of them that we have is him right now that has a capability of doing something. But all of them have low stock unless we sell them to Germany, unless somebody in Germany buys them. But I don't think I see anyone else outside of Zach, because our tour is gone. He's pretty much done.
Yeah, I don't think
McKennie,
we'll ever see him again.
I think McKennie essentially there's going to be a bidding war for McKennie in the Premier League. The only thing that sucks is had Leeds been able to, initiate the buyout clause, we would have got 35 for him. And right now, if you look at, I believe I looked at Transfer Market this morning, McKennie's valued at 20.
It's dropped a bit.
So we would have gotten a hell of a profit off of it. But the problem is now that if they don't, you're going to have to sell them cheaper. And I think Brighton was looking at them for 21, 22 million. So it's kind of shit. We lost a decent amount of money for Big Mac. Though they technically have a pass. It's the final day tomorrow. So
Everton lose, Leeds wins.
As I say, if Everton and Leicester both, or if Everton loses, Leeds wins, and Leicester City drops points, Leeds survives.
Or that, yeah, a couple possibilities.
So
But look at their form.
yeah, their form has been atrocious. Like, holy smokes, their defense is terrible. They've conceded 74 goals. And I thought Ten Hag's defense was bad away.
Play Tottenham. That's not going to be easy either.
No, they're not. They're done. Well, Tottenham's locked. So, like, Tottenham's not going anywhere as far as positioning wise.
Still, I mean.
Well, and then also their form has been atrocious too. Ever since Conte left, Tottenham's been, like, terrible.
Yeah, not great.
So, yeah.
Fucking Conte.
Yeah, they're.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a chance. I mean, who knows? Maybe. Because Brighton's locked into 6th.
Liverpool dropping down to Europa.
So that's gonna be interesting for the De Zerbi fans, is to see how he does in Europe, because I think he had one spell in Europe with Shakhtar, did absolutely atrocious in the Champions League with Shakhtar. So Brighton in the Europa League is a little bit more balanced than Shakhtar in the Champions League is. So
I would say so. Yeah,
that's gonna be, you know, if he pulls, like, for example, a Maurizio Sarri and, like, is only a league coach and doesn't do well in Europe like Conte and Sarri, then it's just kind of like, oh, okay, great. So you don't know how to do proper squad rotation, and, you know, that's whatever. It's fine. So that for me is going to be a good test on De Zerbi. I think Italiano is doing quite well. The only problem is the dude doesn't know how to get his team to play defense, because how do you fumble a lead against Inter in the Coppa Italia final?
So you realize we completely ignored the whole pregame. It just shows how much it really, I guess, matters.
Yeah.
Well, let's kill it off. Let's get our predictions in now, and then we'll open up the phone lines, because, I mean, we're going everywhere but the Milan game. So let's kill
I say 1-1 draw. I'm just going to leave it at a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw, eh? I don't know. You know, it's hard, because we should be angry and we should win. Milan needs to kind of do more, I feel. I think they win 1-0. This is the first time I predict the other team's going to win.
You think so? Yeah.
I'll go 1-0 the other way.
I think Allegri's lost the locker room. I know it sounds terrible, but I
no, he might have.
I think he might have.
We'll find out tomorrow.
But alrighty. I think that was a wrap.
All right. Okay, we're done.
Like 5 minutes Milan, like 25 minutes of me and you talking about random stuff.
Okay, I'm sharing the link. Any of y'all want to jump in? There's a lot of different news. We can bounce around. We can just shoot the shit, kind of like we were here, with just random questions.
Yeah, you guys dictate the conversation. Dave and I are just going to stand here and listen, and, you know, make sure nobody swears.
Well,
or
I'm
says
going to be sitting,
stupid.
but
well, yeah, theoretically,
jokes.
we're just moderators. We're just moderators here. So, if you guys want to ask us questions, or if you guys want to talk with each other, if multiple of you folks come on, Mr. Colo99, I'm looking at you, because we all know Misak. We all know Misak's going to hop in. Bones, if you want to as well. Yusef.
Meanwhile, Dash is just going to sit there squeezing his boobs together.
I'm going to squeeze my boobs as I'm, like, flexing Milik. Look at this. It's like, now he's gone. Now he's there. Now he's gone. Now he's there.
Oh, boy.
Now he's gone.
Yusuf's going to sit back and watch the music.
Let him. I was going to say, Yusuf, you got to say, I got to let Misak cook. You have to let this mate cook. Absolutely. The question is Misak going to cook with garlic, olive oil, oregano, basil? What kind of spice is he going to use tonight? Because he usually comes in with a creative background and a creative hashtag for his name. So we're waiting on him to hop on in, because I know he's coming. Wow, that sounds really weird. Sounds really weird.
Oh boy.
That's how you know. That's how you know I've been hanging out with Sam for too much.
You spend an hour and a half with them. This is what we get.
I know.
He's in bed, so
but Keane dinks it over. It's in! Woo! Keane does it again. And I was about to waste my time on Twitter looking at nonsense, guys. Bam!
Oh, that's the wrong one. This is the one that I wanted to
Coming
play.
in wide. This is looking good. Oh, he takes it. Rebound juicy. Oh, it's sloppy all over the place, and it's out.
They're both good. They're both good calls.
No, Dave, you are the gift that keeps on giving.
So Misak's here, but he's not really. He's just a white sheet of paper right now.
I know.
All right, you know what? Since he's sorting his shit out, here's some random ass news. I don't know if you guys have been following.
Hey, Oscar, what are you wearing?
Hopefully nothing if he's in bed. You got to sleep naked. You sleep naked?
No.
Oh, I
It's
totally
too cold
do.
here. It's too cold here.
It's colder here. Whatever. Excuses. Misaki here. He's a
Is he?
black screen now.
Wait. Nope.
This is like loading up a 1980s video game.
Yeah, he's freezing.
It's weird because he's good down there. He's
No,
frozen.
he's frozen down there as well.
He's frozen.
It's
Okay,
like-
he's got to sort himself out. All right, so Pinsolio's got a new deal to 2025. At the minimum, 300,000 euro. I think that's awesome, personally. Why not? He's the third keeper. Good for the locker room. Minimum, like the absolute minimum wage you can give the guy. Why not?
Yeah.
I think so.
The thing is, like, I don't understand because, like, for example, he's the third goalkeeper. So, like, why are people pissed about it?
Yeah, apparently people are pissed about that.
Like, people are pissed about the third goalkeeper. It's like,
how does anybody get pissed at Pinsolio? Like,
They're
you
like-
have no soul if you're pissed at Pinsolio.
because, like, the thing is, it's like, oh, well, you know, so I think the argument is you get a goalkeeper to develop or something, which makes no sense because it's like Tech's on his way out in a year or two.
Okay, or immediately, because
immediately.
this is what I've also heard, and it's very plausible that Tech doesn't stay with us next year if we're not in Europe, because he is on fairly high wages. I believe it's 7. He's 7.
All right, he's good. He's good. He's got the Godfather up.
Okay.
Now he's
This is Umberto Agnelli. Yes, talking to what's the name, Andrea Agnelli, right there, whispering to his ear, telling him, "Please, we're gonna sack Allegri. Is it okay? Can I have your blessing?
It's an offer he can't refuse.
It's an offer you cannot refuse. And we have to do it, people." How are you guys?
I'm good. How you doing?
We're just talking about goalkeepers.
Yeah, so what do you think about this? With
yeah.
offloading Tech, keeping Pranina as one. This is the latest anyways. I'll lay it out. You offload Tech, who's on 7 mil a season, if you don't make Europe. So you reduce your wages. You put Pranina as number 1. And apparently Carnesecchi as in number 2 from Cremonese, and you keep Pinso as the 3.
What's the point of ruining Carnesecchi's development if you're going to put him as second?
Yeah, no, that's actually.
Well,
a
I
great
would
point.
say I would say this: you purchase him and then you loan him back. I think that's what
Fine.
they're
That's
gonna do.
that's okay. That's a smart thing to do if you're gonna do it.
I think
But-
that's what they do because I don't see any other route. Go ahead.
But the other route we need, it depends on the coach at the end of the day, because neither Chesney nor Perrin are known for their balls on their feet, like how they play with their feet. They are both great shot stoppers, which is good. Like you need your goalkeeper to do that, but right now with the game, you need to pick up the pass with your feet as a goalkeeper, and that's none of our goalkeepers have it. I love Chesney; he has saved us a lot, but Jesus Christ, look at his wages, man! It's insane. How are we gonna pay it? Let him go. Try to move him on. Okay?
I think the fact that you have Perrin, and if you're not going to be playing in Europe, you're not going to have that heavy load.
Yeah,
Perrin is, I think, more than serviceable enough for a rebuild.
Yeah. He is
think
great
it's
enough. He will save us. Like he has saved us a lot. Remember that game against Sporting? He was our man of the match, and I have no issues with that. My idea is at the end of the day, he's not the one that's gonna be leading us forever. Okay, like we can have Perrin for 2 more years, let's say until 2025. Even keep him as a backup because he is for me the number 1 backup in the whole world. Like I haven't seen a second goalkeeper at his level.
So his pay,
Which team has it?
His pay is
He's paid-
2.78.
Yeah, he is paid 1.5 million net, 2.7 gross. Imagine.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I saw it on Twitter and people were losing their mind. Oh, we keep Perrin, we're overpaying him. And blah. I'm like, dude, do you not realize? I'm like,
Some people shouldn't give their opinion, honestly. Like
I'm serious. Like it was like an actual like person that's like, you know, prominent on Twitter, and like they're complaining like we should offload Perrin. He's too expensive. He's getting all this money by sitting on the bench. I'm like, the dude makes like $1.5 million.
Why are people complaining about a second goalkeeper being on the bench? And what does second goalkeepers do?
I'm
They
like,
stay on the
I
bench.
was so confused. I was reading it. I was like, this. I was like, what the fuck am I reading? Because
You
it
have
was
to
like,
send me that so that I can have some
That's a
crisis.
Discord thing. Okay, I think this is one of the things where when we talk shit and we don't want to be public,
Yeah,
that
just send it to me on the DM.
I gotta
but when
find
we
it again.
actually monetize and we can do the membership thing,
Yeah,
there's going to
Let's
be a
not talk
special
about
room. Yeah, there's gonna-
TV stuff, mature adults.
Mature adults where we
Anyway,
see Sam naked. What? No, I'm
we
just
were
kidding.
we were talking about. You were
So-
asked like, who should we get? My first idea is which coach are we gonna bring right now? Because if you look at Palladino is gonna stay at Monza, like that's 99. So Palladino is done out of the equation. Thiago Motta also said he will stay at Bologna, so that's done out of the equation. Tudor is gonna leave Marseille, and he and Marseille at the moment they have also lost the third game on the bounce. 3 games they're losing, and there is a problem, internal problem there with stuff. So he's leaving. For me, Tudor has his pros and has his cons. Okay, not tactically, but as a person, he is too stubborn. He is too rough. I'm just afraid for 1 year like like our players would out diva him, constant internal stuff and just like Chiesa moaning, and then I don't know if we keep Vlahovic moans, but like that's the problem because he's a very rough person. If you notice, like he doesn't give a single shit what the name of the back is. He wants everybody that comes to deliver for him.
it might be what
But yeah, that's something we need to earn and like churn out of the people, but you have to break heads for it. So let's say like that's the con. But also I'm thinking about the players, like the type of players he likes to use. Locatelli fits the bill. Rabiot, if he was staying, it would fit the bill. But a Miretti or a Fagioli or a Pogba do not fit his system, even though he plays a 3-4-2-1. Even though he has one attacking midfielder up there, the issue is he needs a strong 8, a very physically dominant 8 that presses, that doesn't stop running. So Pogba doesn't run. Pogba doesn't run. Fagioli and Miretta aren't physically dominant. So where are these guys gonna fit there? Rovella, for example, is very tenacious, so I think he would be perfect. And you were saying about Amrabat, for example, Dash. Amrabat under Igor Tudor, it would be like watching 70s porno. I cannot say.
full bush.
Full
Yeah,
bush, full
you know,
bush,
full
and
bush,
mustache.
full bush, full action. Like it is perfect. I'm not seriously in a 3-4-2-1 with a double pivot of Locatelli and Amrabat. You need like a physical 8. Like if it was, for example, a Pogba, but like our Pogba before Pogba, I would say like we would easily steamroll the league. But it is not that Pogba anymore. He doesn't run. So if we're gonna get Tudor, the purchase I would buy for him is the guy I already said before. It's from Udinese, Lazar Sahamadic, who is also 21, 22, very technical. He's like an SMS, but 21 years old. Okay, or if we can afford it in some way, if you're gonna get the Igor Tudor SMS as a number 8 spot there, one winger, and you hit it on the net, on the head. You sell Dusan Vlahovic, and that striker, which we were talking about, Alexis Sanchez, because he uses a false 9 system. That's what he uses, a very short stature number 9, and a very mobile number 9, Igor Tudor. He doesn't use a traditional 9 because he wants that 9 to drop deep and make like a triangle, two triangles in the half spaces, making a rondo, like that where you pass the ball,
Yeah.
like okay, 2 rondos next to each other, so they would interchange positions, and like depending on where the ball is, the other side would move in and they would cut inside and stuff like that. There's a lot of movements involved in that, and they are very, very, yes, Lazar Samardzic. Okay, he's just 21 years old now. He was 177 at the start of the season. He's like 183 or something. Okay, he has 5 goals and 4 assists at Udinese. Okay, so like it's really good stats. It's really, really good.
Another Serbian.
And he's another Serbian. Like I'm telling you, a mini SMS. This guy, if you're gonna get for it, or the actual SMS,
Which I think
if you
is
want to go
actually,
short
I
term.
think, yeah, I was gonna say the actual SMS is pretty cheap, 30
About
million from what I'm
30.
hearing.
So apparently, nice. Remove skin tags. That's appetizing. Yeah. So apparently, about 30 is what they're expecting now. What they would sell to Juve for? That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
But we have bargaining chips. I even heard Kulu. Like I said at the beginning, like everyone's kind of been linked to be a piece. Anybody that's movable at this time, right? So. Yeah, I mean, SMS is still an option, but is he the profile for Tudor? Like he's getting up there in
Yes.
age as well, right?
No, yeah, but still, he is still present every game. He runs
Sure,
every
yeah.
game. He's physical and technical. The kind of 8 he needs at that spot. So he would be automatic there. But Fagioli doesn't fit, and Miretti doesn't fit. Ealing Jr. can play as the left wing back, no problem. Cambiaso as the right wing back, I don't know, because his wing backs, they have to have like 5 lungs because they have to
Yeah.
run high pace, high pressure, just go at it, you know. Kostic can. Ealing, I think, will. It's the right side. If we keep Cuadrado, we still need. I don't want Cuadrado to stay, but if we're staying and cutting his wages and be as the bench option, no problem.
I think that's what is going to happen.
But we still need a right wing back that starts.
Yep.
That's actually start, and I haven't seen a single link yet for right wing back. Left back, I've seen like Barco as a left back would be genius move by us that I haven't seen for a while. Honestly, I watched the guy in the Argentinian under-20s. He is phenomenal. He's like Joao Cancelo, just watching that, but without the shitty attitude. Yeah, but the same issue I have with him is he's very short statured. So I feel like if he's gonna play in a defensive system, gonna sit back and stuff, he is gonna be squashed. Now this is Ezequiel Barco.
Yeah, you're looking at the wrong.
This the wrong. I got the wrong guy.
wrong Barco.
Wrong Barco.
Oscar is saying, in my opinion, we should get Mourinho to Juve. Mourinho does not want to go to Juve because of his ties to Inter, he said.
Valentin Barco, left back, 18 years old. This one, the ginger.
Did I miss it? Oh, right there.
The ginger.
The ginger. Yeah, he is so ginger. Like how come he's Argentinian? You know?
Yeah, he is
But
very
he has-
ginger for an Argentinian.
Yeah, he's McAllister, but like left back. Anyway, he is a left back. He's 1.72, like he's short for a defender. But man, on the ball, like you see him silky. He is silky, and he reads the lanes easily. Like whenever there's a run, he automatically passes it. And he did this no look pass. Like he was on the side, like he is here, and the sideline is this place. He is here, okay? He did a no look pass and looked outside the sideline. I don't know why. He did a no look pass like that, and it passed to a shot. Like he passed it correctly, directly to a shot, creating action. Like he has a vision that it's special. This kid is special. So if we lose him, God. But the thing is, I go over again, like who is going to be our coach?
Yeah.
What I find interesting that his place of birth is actually a day in the month of May.
25th of May. Why? And his date of birth is July 23, 2004. Jesus, I was already in.
Yeah, he's 18. He is a little small, yeah, but 18 valued at 1.5. That could be a very good value option for.
He wants 10 million. Boca Junior won 10 million.
10, eh?
Because that's a buyout clause.
Yes, the buyout.
I'd do it.
So there is no issue there, and we're following him, and that's great. We're following him. But if you're gonna get Barco, then I'm thinking like, where are we gonna put Ealing if we're gonna get Barco?
So that's
gonna-
another interesting thing because Eintracht just offered us 15 million reported for Illing.
Fuck no. What? No. Illing for
It
15?
just goes hard. Well, okay, I was hoping we'd get like a little more than just a fuck no, but
Hell
no, I
no.
wouldn't sell
God,
him for
no.
15 either. What does the chat think? And Dash, what do you think at
No.
15?
15, no.
Oh,
I mean that's an
no.
initial offer allegedly. So
It is.
What's the
40
It is.
million, then I listen. 40
40?
million, then I listen.
Good for
Oh,
40.
yeah. You look at the guy, he has pace, acceleration, drive, dribbles, like vision, like, and he can play as a left wing or left wing back. This ain't cheap. You don't get it for cheap. And his
Those
cost
are good
maybe is
points,
like,
yeah. About 40.
yeah, 40. If
40, all
somebody
right.
really wants to get him. Cesare Casade went from Inter Milan to what's his name, Chelsea for 20 million. This guy that has already scored and assisted in Champions League in the Serie A shouldn't be valued at 40 million.
Yeah, it's about time we overvalued players.
yeah. I
Not
suppose. Would we get?
You
legally,
are
I think
paying
get
for
that
the
much,
potential. Like, okay, we are not over there. We are paying. A person is paying for his potential because
No,
his
it
potential
was a
is
plus
high.
Valencia joke. I was trying to make a plus
Yeah.
Valencia joke.
All right. So, what's
Hey,
Oscar?
Oscar's comment's funny. He says selling him for 15 million. Every English player there's never an English player worth the 15 million. He's worth at least 35 because he's
Okay.
British.
Yeah, you guys convinced me. Those English guys are worth a lot. Just because.
Hey, if Manchester City bought Grealish for 100 million, we should sell him for 50 or 60, right?
Oh my
Yeah.
God, Man City.
But Grealish already had scored a lot and carried Aston Villa and stuff. So there is.
He carried them to a
Sa-
majestic 10th place. No, just
He is the Domenico Berardi.
I was gonna
basically.
say he's pretty much England's Domenico.
By the way, you saw
We were
Domenico
linked to him.
Berardi. Yeah, we're linked to Domenico Berardi. Like for example, he is 3.5 million, but that's not based on his potential. His potential is like 35 million worth player at least. He has everything on him. Okay, we just need to make him grow. Like, what's the name? The system that Tudor uses is a false 9 and one winger. So for me, it's Chiesa as a starter and Bulaidia if you want. We try to sign him when we sell Vlahovic. Do not renew Milik. Keep Keane because Keane can play as that 9. Okay, a physical 9 that's very mobile and has acceleration in place. And the second winger, we have multiple wingers. We can go as Matias Soule and Ining Jr. as the two wingers. Left wing back, Kostic and what's his name? Barco, let's say. Right back, we don't know. Right wing back, Cuadrado. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna cry. Every time I look at, because I remember and I was asking for the Lord, for Allah, for whatever you want. I want a right back. In the winter, I wanted a right back because I knew when shit hit the fan, we were gonna crash and we will be lopsided, and every team is gonna lock us down on that left side. Our right side is gonna be empty.
We're all lopsided like we had an A and a C.
Yes, A and the C. You can say like that too.
Going back to our original joke, if you weren't there at the beginning, AC Milan,
Yes,
the lopsided
yes.
breasts. Well, not for everyone, because I know people rolled in later.
Anyway, so yeah, but at the same time, who do you guys want other than Tudor? Realistic.
It's a really tough
like that's the
question,
thing.
though.
Like, what's realistic at this point? I don't even know.
Realistic is Antonio Conte.
No.
Maybe.
You think he's
No.
realistic?
Oh yeah, because he will cut his wages in half or something.
Yeah,
No way he will
I
stay.
don't know.
I mean,
You're gonna have to
as a-
convince me on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. As a productivity, I don't see him being realistic because he'll come in for a season, bitch about something, and then leave.
Yeah, but he was gonna bitch. But the thing is, he should, when you're talking to him, he should know, like, MF. I'm not gonna say the word because we're gonna monetize. No, you have to learn that you have kids. You have to play the kids, and you have to grow these kids and make them world beaters. Can you do it? Yes or no? That's the answer. that's the same question you're gonna ask Igor Tudor when he gets them. Like, dude,
Well,
we have
yeah.
these kids, these lines. You check our next gen. You check our Primavera. You see stuff. Who would fit? Who wouldn't?
Because that's
Can
the
you
thing.
work with them?
He wants to bring Alexis Sanchez with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop
Because he
saying
wants
that
to
to
bring
me.
Alexis Sanchez because we don't have that sort of 9. How about we tell him, look, don't bring Sanchez. We can get you a different model of 9. We sell Vlahovic and can have the funds to bring you a 9 that suits you. Because Dusan Vlahovic doesn't suit Igor Tudor, and Milik doesn't suit Igor Tudor. So the Milkman
He's
T-shirt
gone.
will retire if he comes.
know.
But
He'll
if you get
retire it.
Antonio Conte, these two guys would fit him because he likes to play with a traditional line, Antonio Conte. So the two would work.
Yeah, but I think Conte is just going to bench Vlahovic because he's going to realize that he's not really as great as everyone's
He
making
will
him out
teach
to be.
him. No, he will
Hopefully.
teach him. Like Antonio Conte, he will teach a striker how to be a striker. Simply how to play with his back. If he doesn't learn, he will be on the bench, of course. If he doesn't learn, he's on the bench because Milik knows how to play with it. Because he needs that to actually play offense. He needs somebody to hold the ball, pass around. That's why Harry Kane, look at Harry Kane. He has already 28 goals at Spurs that are shit. No offense, but they are shit. Like
Yes.
they are like us, but on steroids, you know. But we win titles. They don't.
Yeah, because my thing is this, and it's one of my issues where it's like you're reading the reports and it's saying like, oh, Dusan will stay if there's a new. It's like, dude, you don't have that much weight, so it's like, come on, like you're not, you don't have a choice in who the next coach or anything like that is.
Because he still has some power because of what he did in Fiorentina. He still has that power of selling for value. So, and like the image of us losing our best talent and stuff is very bad. But fuck image. That's not how you plan on image. You do not plan on the image. You plan on actual what's the development and the growth. It doesn't matter who you lose. It's who you gain throughout it. Who's bonusing. Like people say, why are we shitting on Allegri so much? Because as people say, we improved this year compared to next year in terms of players, but our play didn't improve. That's what's the major ick for the failure of what's the name, Allegri. Like he got what he wanted, sort of, but it didn't work out.
He was consistently inconsistent, I think.
Yeah,
'Cause it was-
especially look. Yeah, you are right. There was one moment so bad at the start, then really, really good, and improvements, and then bad again, and May crashed and burned.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's like from what I saw, it's like Allegri didn't know how to handle the international breaks. Right? Like if you look at every time there was an international break, our form absolutely just took like a
Nosedive.
horrid nosedive. Like for example, we skated by for 2 games. Usually we would skate by a game or two right after the international break, and then it would just completely fall apart. Like I've never, and that's probably the only consistency I've seen this season is us struggle right after the international break. That is why I hate them. I think they're stupid, but it's one of those things where it's just like, I don't understand that. Like I understand like the first or second game back, you kind of have a little bit of a lull. You're playing in a different system, different players, and it takes a minute to adjust. But like we scraped by, got points, and then it's just like the third game back is when the form would just take an absolute dip. Like it was like the first game against Knots, the Napoli game, and then the second or third game in April, and it's just like, what happens in these international breaks?
Everybody, I don't know what's happening, but they are either getting injured or their training is different. Our fitness staff is atrocious. Our players cannot play on high intensity, high level more than 70 minutes. They cannot. It's the end of the season. They cannot do it more than 70 minutes. That's bad. That's not how it goes. Like Juve isn't known for that. Juve is known for being a very tenacious team. Let's be honest. That's our history. Like we would go balls to the wall all the time, every game, every day. That's how. It's not silkiness. It's not positive football. It is not entertaining. Like what we were gritty. We would go for it. We would fight for every single ball. That's how we got our name. But we don't do that right now with this coach or with this team completely. Everybody, we do not do that because we have sort of players that want to play silky, positive football. Some that can play the way we are used to playing. Igor Tudor can bring us back to our origins. He's a disciple of Marcello Lippi. So he was there during the peak of Marcello Lippi when we went. I think he was there when we went to the 2003 UCL final,
Yeah.
and then we lost. But he was there with us. Like he knows how it goes. He knows how we press very high, how like energetic we are, and that's why his training is super hard. So that's why I'm kind of wishing we get something like that. But at the same time, I'm looking for budgetary reasons, let's say, and what fits for our buck, like our to not spend on midfielders, for example, to not spend any money on midfielders, to get a Luis Enrique, for example, who is also free.
Yes, that's right.
And he was free. He plays with a very silky midfielders. We have Miretti and Fagioli and Locatelli and Rovella, and everybody can fit in very very well. Even Pogba. There isn't continuous running. Okay, with Tudor you have that. Like you will not be bored. That's the thing with, like, oddly enough, if nobody would believe me, if we get Luis Enrique watching us, he will be bored because we would be holding the possession, no problem. We would be holding possession, but most of the time it's like passes sideways, 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 back front, and like it's very, very appalling to watch for me personally. Like I'd rather love to watch an Allegri counter ball than Luis Enrique boring me to that with 78 possession. But with Igor Tudor, you don't have that. Everything is super fast, super fast, super fast. Like their transition from defense to attack is incredibly quick. They would do high risk moves a lot of the time. So you will be at the end of your seat most of the time. So let's see. Let's see at the end of the day where we go. I would be positive with both choices. I don't want Paladino. I don't want Thiago Motta.
Hey, so let's talk about Palladino. So like, because I don't know, a lot of people are, they're really high on Palladino. So why would you say that you don't want Palladino?
Because it's still 6 months, man. 6 months. That's like you can get. Every coach can have a good 6 months, but can
He's
every
done
coach
really well with
replicate it?
Monza,
Yeah, he did. He did very, very, very well.
but it's also just Monza.
It's also Monza, and he said, look at his point tally. He has gotten 50 points, 52 points just on his own. Okay, on his own merit. That's great as a coach. But I want his team, if he's dismantled next year, there is no Rovella or Sensi, which is two key players for him.
It's pretty
Maybe
big
no
players,
more.
yeah.
No more. Maybe Carlos Augusto. He moves out. Like, how will his team adapt if he can promote stuff? Like, I want to see him grow first, the guy. Like, if we get a European ban, the next spot will be either for Torino, for Monza, or for Bologna. Okay? Out of these three, the only coach I would like from Bologna, Torino, and what's the name? Monza, it is, what's the name? The Torino coach, Juric. Juric is like, you see how many teams he has built on his own. He has built, and all of them play the same style: a 3-4-2-1, high pressing, not very fluid in the attack, sort of, but because they have shit strikers, so it's another issue. But it's very tenacious. He put the base of what Igor Tudor tries to play with. Igor Tudor is more high risky and plays a high risk compared to Juric that plays a very low risk, but they have the same characteristics in both styles. So
no links at all though to Juric, but yeah, I know what you're saying with him.
Yeah, so
he's a good profile.
Yeah, so the reason why I was asking, because like, so I watched the recent one of the IFTV podcasts, and they were talking about like potential coaches for Juve. So I forgot who said it, but one of them said he's like, Juve need a younger coach, like an Italiano or a Pellegrino.
I don't get. By the way, sorry to interrupt you, but I don't get with the younger coach. What the fuck does it mean to get a young coach?
Like
young are you mentally retarded? What does the age of the coach matter? It is ass cheeks. It doesn't matter the age of the coach. It is his philosophy at the end of the day and his work, okay? His age, if he's 44 or 64 or 60 like Spalletti, doesn't matter one ass cheek, okay? It matters what is his principles.
I got you.
Oh, continue.
Yeah, so they were saying, one of them said, he was like, yeah, I think Juve need a Palladino, they need an Italiano or Motta, which I thought was interesting. Bologna's Thiago Motta, but I don't
That
understand
name's
that
pretty
take
hot right now.
I mean, yeah, but like the thing is, it's like we're and our Inconvenient Truth said this on Twitter. He's a good friend of ours. He's like, we don't need bridge managers. He's like, there's not really a necessity. Like if you're looking at a young up and coming coach, it's almost like you're saying I need a bridge manager. Or
No, you need a building manager.
Yeah, just the thing. It's like let's break it down. Like so, for example, Thiago Motta had a good couple of months with Bologna, but was
6
terrible.
months
Yeah,
since
he was terrible at
rest in peace.
Genoa. He was terrible at Genoa, and then he was terrible at Spezia as well. Prior to this,
No,
Yeah.
Spezia he was okay. Spezia he was okay. It
He's
was Genoa
always
that was
okay.
very.
Yeah, he was
He's
okay.
always okay.
Thiago Motta at Bologna is good. Spezia he was okay. Genoa he was bad. So he's still developing. He's still learning his trade as a coach. Okay, coaches, despite what you see in J Twitter, they need time to master their craft. Okay, they need time to perfect what they want to do. That takes time.
yeah, and
That's why
I don't see
in a high position, in a high role in Juventus, you need somebody that's already has something like that, has worked on it, has eked out most of his principles how it should be.
Yeah, and out of that entire roster of three, like I think the only one that's kind of gotten probably the best resume is going to be Italiano. But
Yeah,
even then, I'm still kind of like, the Coppa Italia final showed me. I'm like, you still can't organize a defense.
no, oh yeah, that is a big problem. He goes man to man, and he relies on the quality of his defenders a lot individually. But Milenkovic is ass cheeks at the end of the day. Okay, Bremer is not.
We almost bought him too.
Yeah, we were so lucky we didn't buy him. He is so bad. Also up front, Jovic is a disaster. Jovic is a
Yeah.
disaster. Like they had an XG of 3, I think, against Inter. XG of 3 against Inter.
They have no attack.
They have no
I mean,
attack. They have
Italiano,
no
if you
quality.
give him, like if Italiano had the players that Juve have, even what we would have next year, which is arguably worse on paper.
Yeah,
I
but
think he would do okay. Like there's an argument there for him.
Yeah,
But
but
again,
I
like
think-
at what level? Like what's your ceiling?
okay. But the thing is, Dave, I've watched Italiano a lot. Some people do not grasp what he does. He is very high pressing and high possession. Great. But in the attacking third, he is crossing an inshallah, okay? But the difference is...
Is that what we're doing?
That's what we are doing. The difference is he puts 4 men in the box, we put 2. Okay? He puts more individuals, so there's more chance for them to score. But they are so bad, they're not scoring. But what he does is there is no intricacy. There is no complexity in his movements, in third man runs, inside the box, outside the box. There's nothing. Overlaps, underlaps. There's nothing. It is go back to Biraghi, cross, take the ball to the side, cross, try to get inside, chip it over to the far post. There is no tactical fluidity in there in how to break down a defense. It is crossing and inshallahing. Something
when you
we
go to
already
Europe,
do. Okay, what is the point of getting another coach that will do the same as we do? But difference is they play high possession.
But he has Vlahovic.
Okay.
He'll have Vlahovic here.
Okay, if he
no,
has
I'm
Vlahovic
pretty
here,
sure he's gone. I'm pretty sure he's gone.
Yeah, I don't care about if it's Vlahovic is here or if he's not here. I'm not gonna die and give my whole project on a striker. This is not how we build projects.
I know, but
I agree with you. I know. I'm talking about
entertaining Jay
those
Twitter.
idiots that complain that we're gonna sell Vlahovic. No, baby, we sell Vlahovic and we get the money and we reinvest properly. Okay,
Yeah.
We did a mistake buying Vlahovic because we were in need, because we would be losing on Champions League last year if we didn't buy Dusan Vlahovic. Simple as that. But now, because we reset. There is no more Champions League. We can actually focus on rebuilding with his money. Okay, and that's why I'm thinking Italiano has a lot of problems. But has a good side, but a lot of problems. Igor Tudor has. I know some people feel angry towards him, especially Marseille fans, because they feel like the quality has dropped a bit, and he is fighting against their most loved players like Dimitri Payet and stuff. He's fighting against them and trying to instruct them and stuff, so they have bad feelings towards him. But honestly, our team needs a dictator like him.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree, and that's why Conte is still in the mix. Oscar calling for Conte as well. I just think Conte is like you light the dumpster on fire, you put it on a train, and then you wreck the train, and it's just a dumpster fire train wreck.
Look, if we're gonna play one time a year, in my opinion, even though people hate it, he is the best coach in the world if you're gonna give him one competition a year. It's proven. He is proving that. When you make the competition into 3 or 4, like it's in England, where there's the Carabao Cup, the EFL Cup, and the Champions League, and the Premier, his team are toast.
So for out of Europe, this might be the year for Conte, is what you're saying.
I think if we're going to be out of Europe completely, maybe it is another Conte. But the issue is, why Conte and not Tudor, even though he is last? Like, I look at Conte, what he was back then when he first joined us. He was like a Siena coach. He didn't have anything. Siena, Cesena, like lower tier teams. Igor Tudor has already done that and more. He has done a lot more than that. Verona were on the bridge of relegation last year until Igor Tudor came and saved their ass from the first 4 matches. Yeah, Grinta, but there's other coach like an Igor Tudor that's more younger, that's more hungry, that hasn't won anything in his life. He has that hunger, and he can transmit that hunger to the players that we have. And he is a part of our culture and part of our legacy. So that's why I'm more inclined with an Igor Tudor that route of fighting.
Because the thing is, it's like Tudor, from what I've seen, Tudor doesn't really clash with the board, and he is like a professional, like Juve professional coach versus, like, for example, Conte, where he, argued with Agnelli and got himself I'm out. The thing is, it's like the reason why I'm not on the Conte Express is because it's like, okay, great, we have him for what, 1 to 2 years
1 year.
max, 1 or 2 years. So it's like, what happens then?
You get Palladino when he's good enough.
Yeah, we get Palladino or Italiano when they're good enough. But
we get Palladino or Tudor or something. Because forget Conte, you're going to play a 3-back system, and you're going to build your whole philosophy on a 3-back system,
which is not what we want to do.
I don't know. If you're going to keep Bremer, if you want to keep Bremer, then you have to play a 3 at the back.
Well, I mean, Pep Guardiola switched to a back 3, so I think the back 3 is becoming the thing now.
The back 3 is the thing. Danilo can stay with us for more years as a back 3 center back, even though I want to upgrade in the future. But he is the most consistent player in our whole team throughout the season. Like, he has 2 games awful, but he doesn't have more than that throughout the season. He is consistently a 6.5, 7 kind of player. Like, I'm not gonna lie about it. Okay. Plus, the main benefit of having an Igor Tudor, a high press team, is Bremer. If he comes, you're gonna see Bremer as the best defender in the world next year, if he comes, because his tenacity and his drive to push and go up, Bremer, like, Allegri is neutering a bit by making him stay back all the time. But he's a guy that takes the ball and goes forward. Gatti too.
And since Frankie's here,
Frankie,
for example, Gatti. There you go.
Gatti and Gatti and Bremer and Danilo and Igor Tudor, it's gonna be fantastic. So that's why I want a 3-4-2-1. That's my complete system. But the thing is, if you get, let's say, Palladino, our midfielders right now would fit his system very easily, because he plays very Like he has what's the name? Sensi and Pessina, and he plays with very technical, super technical attackers in the two spots. Okay, he doesn't use a lot of physical players there. He doesn't use that. He uses very technical, so our players fit there. Igor Tudor doesn't. Make that is no. I
Like
don't
Lord
want
Deshelio,
It's a joke. Make it like
Allegri's
Allegri's
son.
let Allegri and his son go out, please. Move them out. Like that's why I want. I'm like on the board of Allegri getting sacked, because next year we can say bye bye to Mattia Deshelio for his 8 years in our club. For God's sake.
Oh man, yeah, there are those things. But Walgani, he's done well this year. You gotta give the shout outs to him. I don't know. We've said it on the lives a few times whenever he's been playing, man. Rugani, and that's one of those Allegri mainstays for whatever reason, but this year. And I know I just went down a rabbit hole with Walgani all of a sudden, but
yeah,
I mean,
I don't like if you're gonna get fine. If he's a sub for Bremer in the middle, fine.
That's
no problem.
Yeah, I don't know why I went down the Walgani route, but Deshelio, yeah, he probably has to go.
Deshelio won't come back next year. Done. Like he takes 2 months to recover from a muscle injury. Imagine an ACL, man. We're gonna see him in 2025 with a beard, maybe, like with a beard and he's bald. Imagine.
Does he still exist?
Like he would come back to the training having a neck tattoo, and like, who the fuck is this guy?
I say he'll come in with he'll come in with Cody Rhodes theme music.
Of course. Imagine, man. Imagine Mattia Deshelio bald, like a full dome with wax, like shining, and the beard.
Trying to be like my dad.
It's like trying to be Spalletti.
No. I'm saying like Allegri.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Bald.
Bald like him, like last hair and stuff.
All right.
Jesus Christ, it wouldn't suit him.
There's a couple pieces of news that kind of interesting. We'll get your opinions on them as well. Chat, of course, is always join in. So we already talked about the Pinsolio renewal, but on top of that, I'll just throw a name out. We'll talk about it quickly. Sandro, apparently getting a renewal for a reduced wage, but
that's fine if it's a reduced wage.
Okay, but
like a backup.
What wage? Like how much?
That's the thing. Because it's like
$1 million. Is that too much?
For me, it's like who's making these calls? That's all I want to know. Is it Giuntoli?
Elkin.
Like he's like sitting there giving you a note? Elkin? Like I don't like. With all due respect, the dude doesn't understand the game unless maybe he secretly is like one of the greatest scouts.
Well, he made the call. Like he made the call with Ferrari, with the team principal. He just changed him up. So
yeah, how'd that go today? Unfortunately, I actually watched that today. I watched.
Did you actually? Okay, Max Verstappen is a freaking robot.
Yeah, I was watching.
He gained 0.3 of a second on 2 turns. And I know we're talking about F1 now, but it was ridiculous. There was I do not understand how that happened.
Leclerc, what is that? The Ferrari driver Leclerc, like absolutely like fumbles it. And he's like,
he didn't fumble it. He got like
impeding.
Those times are ridiculous. You understand how ridiculous those times were today?
Yeah,
I'm losing my breath. They were nuts. The top 5, like anything 111 is stupid fast.
That was incredible. It was a fun race. I know it's Monaco and it's kind of like meh, but the
race is gonna suck. Qualifying is amazing.
Monaco like the best place?
It's the most historic. It has the most nostalgia.
Most prestigious with the whole yachts and stuff.
But the actual race, there's almost no passing. It's kind of a
I know race. It's very thin corridors, like it's thin. Yeah. It's very
and the cars have gotten
very
big.
You get if you do one mistake, you're in, like you cannot overcut, undercut.
There's so many
hit
walls.
The wall.
The amount of walls this weekend.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the Detroit Grand Prix because they're actually doing it in the city.
Yeah. By the way, question.
Yeah.
What do you think of if Giuntoli fails? Hassan
I saw you tweet.
Brozo.
I saw you tweet this.
Who? Yeah, I tweeted it too. Like I'm feeling like if or when we don't know it, Giuntoli. If he fails to come, which is our plan A, how about Hassan as our plan B? What's your opinion on it?
Did you say Hassan?
Hassan Salihamidzic, our ex-player, the sporting director of Bayern Munich that got sacked the same day is celebrating.
Okay, right.
I don't know.
I never even thought about that.
He just got sacked on live TV, and it was so funny.
It was
like
hilarious.
he was there celebrating, and the guy with glasses came to him and told him like, and he's like, "What?"
Yes, that's. I mean, that's really fresh. That I guess. I mean, if he's good enough for Bayern,
he's not good enough in Bayern. He got sacked.
Okay, but we're very discount Bayern at this point, in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Say we'll get him. He'll sell Dusan to them for undervalue, and what is it? Alejandro will make tweets about it because I don't know if you guys saw, but Ali's been like tweeting Delict all day, and it's just like I don't even know what the hell happened.
Like
because people, Juve fans, like both sides are ridiculous. Juve fans were throwing Delict because he was gonna lose the title to Dortmund, and then Dortmund battled it. So the Delict pro scums that there are, guys, I call them scums. If you're gonna support a player that's not yours and try to be against your club, okay, you are scum. That's it. And what's the name? Just went on a parade about it. So that's the whole idea.
That's what that was. I'm like sitting there. I'm like, what is going on? What did I miss here?
I basically had money on Bayern, and my buddy had money on the next three teams. It was like Dortmund. I can't remember who it was at the time, but if any of those three teams won the league, he would have got the money, and all I had to do was get Bayern to win. And that's all. That's the only reason why
I was so confused. I'm like, did they switch from Bianconeri zone to Bayern Munich zone? Like, I was like, what the hell happened?
The red zone. I don't know.
The red zone,
man.
The red zone.
You know how they are. They're just going for the clicks.
You know the thing.
I know they are like everything is a click and interaction, and there's no decency and purity and actual integrity in their speech. Okay,
it's almost like a really bad version of Keemstar, because like I can tell that he's trying really, really hard to troll, but it's just like he's awkward when he trolls.
You know what's missing? Them doing these silly ass faces, like this dumb face, like something like that.
Yeah, for their thumbnail. Say for the thumbnails, Vlahovic sold.
Vlahovic sold.
Delict gets the Bundesliga title.
So, and I have a beef with those types of thumbnails. I hate those thumbnails, but I know people click on them.
Me too.
But my beef is when you have like, I don't know, a few thousand subscribers and you're putting your face over the thumbnail. Nobody knows who you are.
Yes.
Who do you think you are? At what point do you think you're that fucking special that you get to put your face all over YouTube? Nobody cares about you because nobody knows you except those 4,000 people that jerk off to you at midnight. Nobody else cares.
Wow.
I don't care. We're at that point of the show where I'm just gonna.
I was gonna say, do I need to put the rated TV MA?
You might as well.
And say Antoine Hus is gonna be like, damn it, I tried letting my kids listen, but this happened again.
Yeah, sorry, Anton. His 8-year-old can't listen to us anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
I was
let's talk about Hassan Salami. Let's call him Salami because the other one is a gabagool. This one is a Salami. Okay. What do you think about his work?
Well, I mean, he nearly bottled the title and absolutely got embarrassed in the Champions League. I don't know.
He doesn't have a good year.
He doesn't fit for what we are at the moment. That's
I don't. I don't. Because the thing is, like you look at Bayern, like the way that they're built is just really weird. Like Bayern Munich don't look like Bayern Munich anymore. It's like, for example, when we lost Buffon, Chiellini, and such, Barzagli, that's kind of like what happened to Bayern Munich. Like you have Kimmich, but like Neuer's there only for like cameo appearances because like his leg is just gone.
Well, Kimmich right now is sort of like our Chiesa. We have one guy.
He's like their discount Philip Lahm, and it's not me like discounting his capabilities or his skills, but like Kimmich is like Lahm. Like Lahm was like one of those all-purpose Bayern Munich players, like or Schweinsteiger. So it's like I look at Bayern Munich now, and like outside of Thomas Mueller and Kimmich, Who's like an actual Bayern player on that squad? Because it's like I think Gnabry is a mercenary in my opinion. I don't think,
Musiala.
you think
Musiala,
Musiala?
yeah.
Oh yeah. Musiala is that, and he's gonna be that.
And
You
in the
say
future of the team.
Gnabry's
And he saved their asses with a
today.
wonder goal.
Yeah, that was a
Yes.
crazy
he did.
strike.
But you
But,
say
like,
Gnabry, he's been on the team for years.
yeah, I
He's
don't
been there for 5-6 years.
I don't think he's a Bayern player though. Because like if you look
Okay.
at like Bayern Munich during Jupp Heynckes and then like Guardiola and then
And then
Hiddink,
Hans.
yeah, it's like
Hansi Flick.
they had them, yeah, and they had like Bayern players, like D Machina players. Like it was like there was players there that were like, it's like a trademark Bayern. So it's like I look at it now, I don't think Leroy Sané is a Bayern Munich player in my opinion. He's too flashy for what Bayern Munich is. And then it's like Upamecano, João Cancelo, like those guys don't strike me as Bayern players. I think some are their keeper, yeah, but like even De Ligt, in my opinion, and like I don't view De Ligt as a Bayern Munich player.
All right, since we like to trash De Ligt, what type of player? Who does he play for? PSG?
I think De Ligt goes to the
Who?
Prem.
Who?
De Ligt,
De Ligt?
yeah.
He stays
The Prem.
there. Why you would move anywhere?
Well, because he's
He's
not
De
good
Ligt.
enough for there.
No, I wouldn't say he's not good enough. I'm not saying he's not good enough. Oh gosh, but like no, like because he isn't a Bayern Munich player to me.
No, he is for me because he is blonde. Okay, I'm not being racist, but like
he is
blonde.
the
tall,
master race. He is the
speaks-
master race.
He is the master rice.
He is the one. He is the one that we need to take for the Bratwurst Schnitzel and the Stella's Belgian.
No,
I don't know what
because
German
he's
beer.
very, very physical guy. That
Holstein.
he would suit them. But at the end of the day, Bayern Munich is known for his defenders. That like back in the day, we were known for his Beckenbauer, but that's it. But as defenders go, like that's not how they go. It's their midfielders. Okay, it's their midfielders that are national midfielders. So that's why they're getting like Konrad Leimer from what's the name Leipzig. Okay, like that's the difference between Germany and us. They can get great, good players for very cheap prices that our clubs, our little clubs that we have, provincial clubs, screws us over. Not because we don't know how to negotiate. It's Italy. Like, Jesus, what's wrong with you? Like, the guy wants to go. Why are you asking for 35 million for a Locatelli? 35 million for Locatelli. Like, get the concept? Like,
that was a lot looking back.
Over ask all the time. Like, Konrad Leimer is the best presser in Europe. Like, the pressing. Like, he would not stop pressing. That guy is a machine, and he would fit Bayern Munich like a glove.
I mean, like, what is it? They got Gorsteka for cheap too. I mean, like, the only player that they really broke the bank on was Sané and De Ligt.
Sané and De Ligt. That's the money got 20 million wages, so they broke the bank a bit.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the willingness to like purchase a player from a club, because like Bayern Munich, like even with us with Arturo Vidal, I think they spent like 26 million for him at the time.
40 million, no?
40?
Yeah.
Was it that much?
Yeah, but we wanted 60 because he was such a good player back then, no?
Yeah,
he was like one of the best midfielders in the world, and we only sold him for 35 million plus 5 million bonus.
Yeah, because he had an alcohol issue.
Because he wanted to leave. He's a dumbass, man. Wallahi, like Vidal, I'm so angry at him. He ruined it. Put Vidal and Pogba, two idiots in one bag. Like, you two ruined your whole career by going to Bayern Munich, which he had. Vidal had one good season, and Pogba had 2 good seasons at Manchester United. And that's it. Like, in Barca, he was bad. Then the other years at Bayern Munich, he was mediocre. And in Inter, he was finished. We would have used him so much, Vidal, back then. Yeah, Goretzka, when he was very young, they make him into a man. Now he's injury prone. Super injury prone. That's why they want to replace him.
Yeah, because he took a little too much of that juice.
I gotta say something here, guys, because we were making fun of another channel earlier, how they turned into like the Bayern Munich channel, and that's all we've been talking about.
I know it's kind of funny how we did that. They're gonna sit there and be like,
no, because we were talking about Hassan Salami.
At
the end of the day.
Hassan Salami.
The Salami is my problem with Salami is like we do not have money. He has to do smart deals. Like he has done, Hassan has done a lot of like you see the guys they have youngsters like Musiala, like
Gravenberch.
their left back Stefan something. I forgot. They have a good left back coming up. They have the Tel guy. I forgot his name. Something Tel. Okay, Tel. He's French. He's an attacking midfielder. He has already scored like 3-4 goals already. He's just 17 years old. Like he scouts very well and he decides on young players very well. But my issue is that we do not have the budget to get him a De Ligt, to get him that. But his philosophy of what is needed to play his football, you've seen what it is. It's a 4-2-3-1. He builds it like that. He wants a high pressing, very fluid system. That's why there was a problem with Julian Nagelsmann, because it's not balanced enough. That's why he wanted him sacked, because Julian Nagelsmann didn't know how to defend well.
And that's part of our problem, is that we don't have balance in our squad. So
no, it's too defensive.
yes,
We don't have
and no midfield. Well, the connection. There's no connection.
There's no connection in the midfield because there is no guidance in the midfield. Like you come here, you be there. Because every time the two midfielders are already in position of attack, while they should be back, still facilitating the play first before going up. I don't get it. It's been 2 years and they haven't understood their positional knowledge at all.
It is interesting. Yeah, you do sometimes wonder with our players, like, shouldn't you know where you should be right now? Like, what are you doing there?
Like something like that's the thing. Nobody, maybe Allegri isn't telling him. He's telling him on the side, like you be there, but he should teach them before the match and in training, like guys, this is how we're gonna play. Because
but that's something we discussed, right? Like Allegri is good when he has higher skill players because he can trust them just to know where to be.
Exactly. He will focus on the defending. He will focus on how to defend. Okay, and that's perfect. And in attack, you do you. Ours can't do themselves. They cannot masturbate. Apparently, they need somebody to help them, to be the numb left hand for them. But instead, it's the right hand.
Jesus Christ.
Give them the guidance.
Oh man, Saturday night going downhill. All right, we're at the hour and a half mark. I'm gonna throw one last name out tonight. There's a lot of stupid names flying all over the place, but we're gonna have fun. Just because this name will not go away. What the hell do we do with Piacha? Piacha?
No, we loan him out for the 9th year in a row. Yeah, no, man, what's the
no way?
Why? We do not have any hope because nobody's gonna buy an injury-prone Croatian and those wages. I don't get why
who's gonna loan him though? He's just like dead weight.
Why did we renew him in the first place? That's my question.
That's a good question.
I just feel it's like loan him.
I just feel it's like when you're out in the country and you're a horrible person and you have puppies that you don't want and you just have to like take him out back.
We call him a piazza now. If you have a puppy with that's homeless, it's a piazza.
Yeah, Frankie. I mean, it's unfortunate that he's injury
prone. I remember
he could have been really good.
I remember his goal he scored in the UCL that in the quarterfinal. No, remember against Lyon? It was against Lyon, I think. He scored that one goal that made us go to the semis.
Yeah, I mean, like and that's what he did. Once in a while, he would just get this ridiculous goal, but
yeah, then he finished. Then he got his ACL, and then he came back. He was not good enough, and career over.
Yeah, it's just amazing how has it been 9 years?
Yeah. No. He came in 16, 17. He came in 16, 17.
Yeah, 16, 17. So it's 7 years, going on 8.
Okay, yeah. Man, it's just like we can't get rid of this guy.
He's gonna be here for a decade. We're gonna cut him a cake, and they would look at his appearance, and it's like 26 appearances total in 10 years.
I kind of feel bad for the guy. He just had bad luck. He's still keeping up in Serie A, keep playing at the top level, but
he should just go to Croatia, man. He just go Croatia, play in wherever you want, Dinamo Zagreb or something.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the money. Just get a nice cottage on the beach or something. Misak's yawning. It's late for you anyway. So
it's 2 a.m., man. I have to wake up in 5 hours. I'm talking about Tudor and some freaking salamis. I don't want salami. That's why I don't want salami. Like Giuntoli, then Carnvalli, if you can get him, and then it's Salami.
All right. Well, let's end it there then. Thank you guys so much. So just a reminder, tomorrow we are on the Twitch doing the Milan watch along penultimate game, which means next week we'll be here on the YouTube, which I'm kind of glad that we can end this one on the YouTube because you guys are more fun than the Twitch. I just said it.
Yeah,
it's true.
you're gonna get cursed in many languages tomorrow, like
Again.
dash,
Yeah.
get out, dash out, Dave out.
What they were saying? I was missing a lot of it, obviously, but were they saying that kind of shit?
Oh, they were.
I don't know if they would say
out. No, they didn't call us out. They're just
okay. I thought they were
no. Imagine they call you out, man. That's ridiculous. Like you could have just addressed them, like, man, I have no power. I don't do anything
like,
for the team.
I've never
I'm
actually
just
talked
here.
to, like our hierarchy is Beppe. Everything goes through Beppe. So like we have zero actual communication with Juve. We just hop on their StreamYard once in a while and like log into their Twitch. It's like, hey, we're here. We're just some dudes.
Whoa.
Yeah, like all the people were like yelling at us. Why don't you say it? One person was actually courting us to say, and he's like, "Are you guys even allowed to talk about that? Because if you can, it's totally fine with it." And I just kind of like nod. I just kind of look at the camera and start going like this, and the guy's like, "Oh, okay,
Figured it
appreciate
out.
it.
Congratulations, you figured it out. We're on an official Juve channel. We're not gonna start trashing our fucking manager." You are brilliant for figuring it. I mean, those who didn't, you're a fucking retard.
I know. It's just the funny. The funny thing about that. The funny thing about that is like people can't even take that under their perspective because we do work for the actual team itself. So, would the team be okay with two people sitting there saying, "Oh, we're garbage, we're trash"? Bencher, subscribe, join our members chat.
What is this shit? You would call them. What is this?
Allegri out, doing all that like
yeah.
It's like the thing is like if you worked at McDonald's and you made a video saying how much McDonald's sucks, like McDonald's would look at you and be like, we don't want you here anymore. Like it's common sense. It's like seriously, folks, common freaking sense at that point where it's like we see the comments of people saying Allegri out this. My issue is it's always someone from the eastern side of the world where like, why you no say Allegri out? What is wrong with you? And it's like, I'm sorry that I actually, have a job that, my parents don't pay for all my crap because like, it's just stupid stuff like that where I'm just like sitting here and it's like, how do you not like, put two and two together on that? It's just like, it just baffles me.
Well, you can't fix stupid, Dash. We figured that out many times over.
You need duct tape, a lot of duct tape.
That's why we started our own YouTube channel.
Imagine this in a situation like somebody who donates you 100 euros to say, I will give you 1,000 euros. Say Allegri out.
For 1,000 euros. I mean, that's more than I'm getting paid, so maybe.
That's like you know who would do that? That Ari guy that was like calling me out on our YouTube channel.
Ari,
like,
yeah.
The guy with the BS.
To give you 1,000 euros to say Allegri out on the public channel.
It was funny because I was like sitting there and I was just like explaining how dumb what he was trying to like argue with me for was, where he's like
the whole chat was telling him he was an idiot.
Yeah, the whole chat was on him. But like the thing is, he's like, you put pressure on the management. I'm like, yeah, because the first thing John Elkins gonna do is go on Twitch or Twitter and look at it and be like, oh my gosh, Ari told me to fire the coach. Let me do it right
Or Dave and Dash on public Juve Twitch told them to Allegri should go out.
I'm pretty sure John.
How about you do it like in the windows? Like can you say like, I hope next year something changes, like someone changes on the bench.
So
that
normally
coaches the team that wears the suit that earns 9 million euros. Okay, I hope we can change him.
The thing is, like, the thing why I really got worked up with it was like the way. So it was like the way that the dude came on the channel about it too. Like he literally comes in, he's like, "I'm so sick and tired of your bullshit." And I'm like sitting here, I'm like, okay, first of all, one, you're coming into our house here. Like you don't come into a guest house and say that kind of stuff. So it's like, all right, first of all, like slow your roll.
First you say greetings. That's the first word.
It's like greetings.
Can I enter your house?
Greetings, I am sick of your bullshit. No, but like the thing is like, look, like you come in here and you come in with that kind of sense of entitlement where you're coming in here and saying I'm sick of your shit. It's like, first of all, hold on. You're coming here I'm not going to you. You're coming
You're
here.
coming in me. Okay,
You're-
I'm not coming
literally.
on you.
Hold on.
Okay, you are on me, so you have to respect me.
It's one of those things where it's like if you come in and you don't have any sense of decency or respect, like Dave and I
Mhm.
will lay the hammer down on you. And trust me, Dave is a lot more ruthless than I am when it comes to
I don't
that
give
stuff.
a fuck.
Exactly. We got an
Bang.
angry Canadian. You never want an angry Canadian.
Yeah,
But
that's like the most like frightening thing. Like Canadians don't get angry, but if they're angry, then you know you
And
did something very
I
bad
know.
We'll
And
be
the
your
thing-
best friend until you fuck on
until
us.
it's there.
I
Yeah,
will
it's
destroy
like-
your world.
like the thing is, it's like it was ironic because I'm like sitting here and I'm like the main argument that the guy was
Thomas
like
is
telling
right.
me, yeah,
Yeah.
he is. But like the thing is like, what's ironic about that whole interaction was this guy was like debating me saying that, oh yeah, well if we keep spamming on their posts, they're gonna take notice. I'm like, no, they're gonna laugh
No.
because you're giving them ad revenue. Because the thing is like. And this is how I know, like that's like a child and an adult that's like trying to sit and converse with big people. Like the thing is, it's like people don't understand. Like if you text Allegri out or say anything like that on their social media, YouTube, Twitch, all of it, interactions are key, not views. Because even Juve tell us where it's like a good Twitch stream is when you have X amount of interactions on the stream. Because the thing is like the algorithms now, and even with live stream shows too. So like the more you interact in the chat, the
Yeah.
more you get pushed in the algorithm, the more you get spread throughout. And again, if you're monetized, the more money that you make because more people are commenting, interacting, going in. And like, for example, Juve, because Juve, again, on Instagram and Twitter and etc., they make money per posts, per interactions per post. So all of you people doing the Allegri out thing literally
Making
just
more
made them.
money.
You're making
Yeah.
them more money. So of course Juve is going to sit there and be like,
Yeah.
yes, keep doing this. They're not going to
Like,
react because again,
they're
one,
not
they're a
gonna do it.
corporation. They're not going to sit there and be like, hey, look at this guy over here in some third world country texting Allegri out. Like what this genius. But it's one of those things where I just find it so funny because it's like, guys, instead of sitting here arguing, whining on the Juve page, you guys we all have to sit here and work together and have
Get
these
a life.
conversations. That too, get a life. But it's like, for example, one of the things that we do here is like, none of us agree on everything all the time.
No.
We don't. We're not going to sit here and tear each other up, but like, we're going to sit
No.
here and be like, okay, why do you think this? Why do you do this? Like last week with Hamza, well, we had Hamza. It was me, you, and Hamza. All
Yeah.
three of us had 3 separate coaches that we wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about all 3 of them. At the end of the day, I didn't say that Misak or Hamza is a dumbass. Like, it makes no sense if I were to go and like, these guys are stupid. I don't
No,
even know what
we
they're
are
talking
lowering
about.
the standard. Don't forget
Yeah.
that which we're lowering the standard
And
because
We're lowering the standard and proud that we're in a banter era, according to
Speaking
some
of
people.
speaking of lowering the standard, and this is really what the problem with the Allegri out is. Just by saying Allegri out doesn't actually say anything. All it does is prove that you don't think objectively, and you're a bandwagoner. And what is actually embarrassing as well, and this is what this Artie guy said as well, is like, what does it matter what it looks like? Because if your graphic is some Microsoft Paint with just black on or red on black, Allegri out, it's freaking embarrassing. How am I supposed to take you seriously if you can't put the effort into even saying Allegri out? That is how short-sighted you are. Now, if you don't want Allegri in, and many of us don't, I understand. But just saying hashtag Allegri, what? It accomplishes literally
nothing.
But here's the funny thing.
For example, let's talk about Allegri out. For example, when did the rumors start more? When it intensified that Allegri's job is not safe, is when he alone discussed that Juve has no hope next year to play for the Scudetto. Okay, Alcan didn't give 2 nuts on what people said throughout the 8 months about Allegri out. He doesn't give a shit. No, he sees at the guy and what he said and what he is doing on the pitch and off the pitch. That's where he measures the stick. Okay, it's not anything else. It's not what you say. It's not what I say. It's not what we do in this show, any show. No, it is what they do on themselves on a corporate level.
Yeah,
welcome, Boyan.
And it's corporate. That's the thing we have to remember as well. Like, yes, they probably see that there's a part of the fan base that says Allegri out because part of the corporate landscape is the social media, and that they do take that into account. But at the same time,
you want to know,
Elkan.
so like
Elkan does it.
So let me give you guys some knowledge here, marketing wise. So a little bit of my background is business and marketing and all that fun stuff. So those people that are complaining about Allegri out still buy the jerseys, still buy the Juventus merchandise, still buy FIFA because Juve actually makes money off FIFA for branding and licensing. They're buying all of those, paying whatever subscription service, unless they're watching it pirated, but they could. But Serie A is actually kind of a stickler on that, so it is kind of difficult unless you know what you're doing. So all of those people are all still doing it, like, and then they think that again a Microsoft Paint image is going to do something while they're still giving them money and also making more money for more interactions. Like the thing is like, look, if you want to protest Allegri out or do anything like that, you're free to do it. Do whatever you want, but at least do it tactically. Like for example, the Curva, like how the Curva does it whenever they're frustrated with something that the club does. They protest by not going to the game or they do something like that. At least that's taking like an actual action that makes sense because you're not buying tickets.
They're doing the same tomorrow. They're not
They
gonna
are.
let anybody
for the first
enter.
20 minutes, apparently.
Yeah, you see, like
They're
sent a
saying
message that not just them, they won't let anybody. They will try to not put anybody enter the stadium.
I thought it was this Curva Sud.
I thought it was just Curva Sud.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
think
it
it's
is.
No, apparently they sent it out in other public forums and stuff, not the Curva Sud, but underneath
my
that they
issue-
don't want anybody else to praise. If they start, everybody should be silent for the 20 minutes if they're gonna enter, or stay outside and cheer from outside and then go in.
So my thing is this, like, as long as they're not, getting in the way and preventing people from entering the stadium or doing that. But like if you post it on a board and people follow it, that's one thing. But that's my only thing that I'm worried about Curvas in Italy is like they can get violent if you don't follow what they
They
want.
are
Like if
mafioso.
Yeah.
If Buddy's just taking his kid to watch a footy match on the weekend because they're trying to have a father-son, whatever day, I mean, man, don't ruin that kind of stuff. There's families that don't know the political landscape whatsoever, what's going on, that just want to enjoy a match. But yes, I mean, if they do it democratically and say, hey, it's up to you, but we're staying outside, you can support us if you want, then cool, whatever. Peaceful protest.
Look, if I could have, like, honestly, this is probably one of my biggest hot takes. If like one thing I'd be okay with is just getting rid of Curvas in general. Like I don't think, because like for example, only Italy have them.
Ultras, you mean?
No, it's
Ultras,
Spain.
not
Ultras, yeah.
Yeah,
Curva is the same.
Ultras, yeah. Like you get rid of the ultras because, like, for example, you look at the Premier League. It's just a bunch of blokes that come in from their weekend pub and just hang out. Like the atmosphere at the Premier League, and I'm not, the thing is, like, what irritates me with a lot of, like, for example, with Serie A in general is like everyone's so damn reliant on ultras, and it's like you give these groups so much power, and it's like, and the thing is like, in Juve, and
They
I
say
understand
it's
what,
people power. They lie it as people power. It is not people
not.
power.
Because, like, for example, you look at what the ultras did to us, where they're trying to blackmail and Yelly for ticket prices and all that stuff, where it's like, I understand the club's direction for going that way. The only problem, the issue with Juventus when it comes to the stadium and the noise, etc., is one, ticket prices are a lot more higher than before. The other thing too, it's like what kind of looks at it is like Juve have fans from all over Italy. So it's like you don't have like that dedicated group. But I don't like that argument because some people have been saying with that argument. But if you look at Premier League teams as well, you have people that take a tram to go to the Premier League games as well. But I don't know. It's just for me, fan base isn't. Go ahead.
Yeah. The ticket prices, you were 100% correct. But the difference is their population per area is different.
It's not as popular.
In London, in England, it is more crowded. There's a lot of immigrants. Like in Italy, there is not that much of immigrants. Like there is like the African immigrants you've seen. Like there's more, but there isn't as much as UK with the Asian community, for example, in India or Pakistan or Far East. There is a lot of immigration, so the population is very big. Also, the Caribbean. For England too, Caribbean and Africa.
Yeah,
there is a lot of immigrations.
You're right.
In Italy, it's not like that. So the population is lower. So you cannot completely remove the ultras, even though I want to, but you need something more.
Yeah.
Like I said before, like a disciplined team, people you can hire, Juve can hire, that can start singing and start the chant and stuff in each sector, because we cannot. Both ways are wrong.
I do, yeah. I do think the one way to
So
fix the stadium issue is I do think you make the tickets cheaper. I mean, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen anytime
That
soon,
probably
but
won't.
yeah, because like the thing is, like for example, if I look at like American sports here, like there's teams that have terrible records, but their fans are still loud and make noise, and they're not ultras. They're just people that are just at the game enjoying themselves, and it's like, and I understand that's where Juve wants to go. Because Kevin and I did a video on the ultras in the stadium in itself, and I was reading the actual official like rules and regulations for going in there. Like personally, in my opinion, like I think flares are stupid. Like there's people that are like, oh,
a
we need to
little
bring
much.
flares in, we need to bring flares into the stadium. I'm like, that's kind of obnoxious. Like drums, I'm a little bit like,
and
yeah, drums and megaphones.
trumpet,
Yeah, like what is it?
megaphones.
Like people want, remember like in the World Cup in South Africa where they had those like horns, those like
Vuvuzelas.
the vuvuzelas.
Yeah.
Like people want stuff like that, and it's like I don't know about that, man.
Ear cancer.
That-
Yeah,
I mean,
ear cancer.
Yeah, the thing is
Their
like
drums and stuff isn't that bad.
Look.
Like just one drummer, but like yeah, I understand if everyone's got this annoying instrument going.
yeah. Look, I'll say this. Really, to be honest with you, to fix the stadium problem that a lot of people are complaining about when it comes to the stadium, once you start putting a better product out there, seats will sell. People will yell. That's
Oh, yeah.
honestly it. That's honestly it. Because, like, for example, what is it? Like, I have TVs commenting on how San Siro is freaking amazing and their atmosphere is crazy. Guys, if you go to the San Siro 2 or 3 years ago, there was like nobody there prior to COVID.
There was like I remember
barely
Inter games.
30,000.
There was no stand. Like you would see the stand; it was empty and stuff. Same
Yeah.
thing's happening now, kinda. So like, if we change, maybe we change a coach to a more.
And then Thomas is asking the Turin fan or the Turin-based fan argument should not be applicable anymore. An entire generation grew up with us winning 9 Scudetti. Didn't our local fan base grow? Yeah, it did.
Turin
in
is what
Italy-
950,000 people. Like Turin is not a big city, and
It's
it's shared
not-
with 2 clubs. Yes, we have the lion's share, but why? How much could it actually grow within the region? With
the
a
thing
limited base,
is,
right?
the thing is, it's the cost. In my opinion, it's the cost is too much. Like 200 plus euros for a single match for
Yeah.
Italy, for Italian people. It is really too much, so that
It
nobody
is.
can afford it.
It is. It is because like the thing is like you look at the best times when we're dominating and also like the market itself. Tickets were really cheap from the 9 Scudetti. Towards the end is when it started getting expensive with Ronaldo, but like from
There
2011.
is no more Ronaldo. There is no more Ronaldo. There is
But-
Dusan Vlahovic. Why are you selling that much high?
I know there's no Ronaldo, but they're still selling Ronaldo prices. Because the thing is, it's like you look at it. Thomas is like again, a lot of folks that follow Juventus are all over Italy, so it's like you have to pay for a train ticket to get to Turin, and then you have to also pay for the ticket for the match, and it starts getting to the point because like for example, Kevin on our channel, Kevin lives there, so it's easy for Kevin to just pick up a ticket and head to the stadium. And that's literally what a lot of people do. But like if you also and we're gonna probably try to do this more so next season once we get Kevin some better tech. Like there's a lot of people that migrate into Turin for matches. And the thing is, and Kevin even mentioned it, he's like, it's really expensive to travel through Italy to get to Turin. And again, you want the best fans are your blue collar fans, not like your, big office, white collar
yeah.
schmucks. Like, they just come in there and like, what's these sports things? The problem is like Juve have kind of priced out blue collar workers in Italy with their ticket prices. And that's one of the issues. Because if you look at like your provincial clubs, again, they're loud stadiums. Why? Because it's blue collar workers. Like, for example, Manchester is literally the epitome of blue collar workers in England. That's why you look at Old Trafford, even if you look at Anfield, like Premier League tickets go towards, again, your blue collars, because those are your people that make the most noise. And you look at us, and I would say, because like for example, Napoli got pissed because they started raising their ticket prices and blue collar workers couldn't afford them. Because the thing is like the money that's in Italy versus the money that's in England is totally different. And like the thing is I think the problem with and this is FIGC's problem. This is not just Juve. It's FIGC's fault as well, where they're not understanding. And I still don't understand how the hell Gravina got promoted, because the guy's an absolute joke. But you have to look at it from a population, and you look at it from an economic standpoint. If I was Gravina, these teams are raising ticket prices, yet Italy's economic status doesn't support the valuation of raising these ticket prices. You need to sit there and get to the point where it's like, hey, we're stopping it.
Yeah, I understand with Ronaldo raising it, okay, because you have Cristiano Ronaldo, like you sell out. If you go and remember that year, every stadium, every year, like the whole matches were sold out the first year of Ronaldo because everybody came to watch him, even though the football wasn't as exciting, but because it was Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
That's why we raised it and we made a lot of money because of that. But now we do not have that exciting player that like wow, like world class.
Yeah,
We do not have that anymore. So why is the price that high?
exactly.
Anyway, I have
And
to head
that's fine. Yeah,
because
no,
it's too
totally.
late.
We'll see ya.
Okay, see ya. Forza Juve fino alla fine.
All right, Misak, have a good one, buddy. Have fun at work tomorrow.
I have 4 hours of sleep.
Go do it. Why are you still here?
Bye.
But yeah, and I'm with you there, Thomas, because I think and that's really the moral of the problem here that we have is it's not a great product. And the thing is, and I think that's something that we can all agree on, is like the product itself isn't the greatest. And then again, you're paying high ticket prices and also traveling expenses to go watch a meh product. Because like you'll get the one-off fan that'll go to a game or two because I want to go see my favorite club. Like for example, me, even if the product's crappy, I'm in Italy, I'm going to go to turn and watch the game because again, I live in the United States. So looking at it again, it kind of vies away from kind of what we were talking about before. I think when Dave left, is the best way to get a fortress of a stadium is you need to work and adjust your prices to incorporate blue collar workers in Italy.
Definitely helps. I saw that a lot just with Toronto. Toronto's turned very white collar. Not even just recently. The lot.
So you guys have always been bougie ever since you got Drake.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going way before Drake, right? Yeah, and I've noticed that because I mean, growing up in Toronto, I got to go to the games, and I got tickets basically when my dad got them given to him by like colleagues, work, whatever, however the handouts go in the business world, right? Because we couldn't actually afford to go, but would get these tickets to be worth a few $100 for like the 4 tickets that we would have. And then you got there, and then it was quiet. Yeah, there's that drunk guy in the back corner. He's losing his mind, and everyone loves it because he's just really into it. But like that lower bowl, it's just quiet, and everyone's buying their $15 beers and their, $17 press. It is ridiculous. And when the team does well, it doesn't matter. I mean, everyone loses their mind regardless. But when your team is in a tough place, and all you have is basically the business partners coming out to have an evening to talk shop and just, rub shoulders, and they can tell their buddies the next day they were at the match. Not the same. Not even close.
Yeah.
So,
and sorry, Dave.
No, that's good.
But like the thing is, it's like the main thing that I have with it, it's more so like you look at it in the United States, like teams that don't do well always lower their ticket prices when the product's not good. They lower the prices just so they can get people to come into the stadium. Like the Detroit Tigers, for me, they are probably the worst baseball team ever right now.
They should
Tickets are like
given
$15.
people.
Yeah, like tickets are like $10 to $15. So you're like, all right, cool. Let me go to the baseball park, watch a baseball game, fuck around, and for that. Or like for example, the Lions. Like the Lions are one of this year they're actually gonna be probably really good, but for the longest time ever, the Lions have been terrible, but they still sell out. Why? Because again, they're more affordable for people to go there and just watch and lose. Because the thing is, and this is kind of a little bit where, and I'm pretty sure that I wish we had Kevin to talk about this, but like one of the best things about certain clubs or teams and sports in general isn't really the game itself. It's the activities prior to and after the game. So like, for example, one of the things that US sports gets quite well is scheduling important matches or games, or they do it at certain aspects of it. Because like the thing is like with football, with the NFL, the game is one thing. The pregame is another beast. Because people go there 4 or 5 hours before the game, set up their tents, their cars, hang out outside the stadium, barbecue, do whatever, and then they go to the game. Where it's like at Turin, you don't really do anything before the game.
The stadium's just kind of
It's just
out
there
by itself.
It's out
And
by
that-
itself.
And that is something that, now in Canada, they figured it out. And you would think, being so close to the States and playing in the same leagues. But I realized this when I went to, I was in Arizona. I was watching the Coyotes and the Leafs. I mean, there was more Leafs fans in Arizona. That's how big the Leafs are. But what Arizona did well was create the experience. And I'm just singling them out because that's where I went. But many different cities do it, especially throughout the States, where it's not just the stadium just in itself. There's restaurants and shops and nightlife and just all these different forms of entertainment. And there might be multiple stadiums attached. It might be the arena. There might be the football field. What have you.
Entertainment districts.
A full district exists.
Yeah, and that's what we did to Detroit. Like, kudos to Detroit for doing this. Like, but like, for example, if you go to downtown Detroit, you have the NFL field, Ford Field, the NFL stadium there. Right next door is the baseball stadium, Comerica Park, and then right next door is a dual hockey / basketball arena, Little Caesars Arena. All of them are within 5 minutes walking distance of each other. All the restaurants, all the bars, all the clubs, all the things that you need to do are all there. So the thing is like, it makes sense because, like, for example, the Red Wings aren't really that great, but yet they still have a very good draw because, again, you have that entire entertainment area. People are like, hey, I just finished work. Let me just walk down the street to Little
Go
Caesars
for some
Arena.
drinks. You
Go
get
for some
to
drinks.
do some shopping, what have you.
Yeah,
Catch
do
the game.
that. The thing is, the issue is because let me see, because we'll end on this segment because I think we hit a little bit of a juicy spot here, but but the thing is if you look at, and I don't know if many of you guys have looked at the Juventus Stadium in retrospect to where the city is.
It's out there.
It's out there. It's really, really out there. I'm pulling it up for you guys so we can look at it here. And then I will do the layers.
And you see this a lot too, because how do you put a massive stadium in a city? Europe is even harder, right? Because, the towns are very congested.
Yeah. So like the thing is like here you've got all of like the Juventus based stores, but again, their prices are always inflated because any store or any gift shop within a stadium is always going to have inflated prices. But like you look at here, you just have a couple of things here, not really anything too much. Cause like, for example, Kevin, who lives in Turin, has to take
He takes
a
a
bus.
bus.
He takes a bus to get to the stadium. Because over here you have the Conte Nasa and the JHQ. You have some residential area here, but like all of the activity is trying to remember which way I'm going because I'm trying to find the river. Is usually around here in this area here.
Just look for the church.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the church.
I think you got to go
this way.
farther.
Yeah. I got to go farther in. But you see, I mean, you guys catch my drift. So there's the river. Yeah, it's right here, I think. Somewhere right. No. But anyways,
go farther, but it's a ways out.
Yeah, it's a ways out from the stadium itself. So when you look at it,
Lavazza, they have a Lavazza museum. Eh? I'm gonna have to go there. It's coffee. It's coffee, guys. I love it. Sorry, I just caught it as you were scrolling by. Cathedral. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so that's all the way over here.
I thought you were gonna say chapel. I was like, that's a bit bigger than that.
No.
Oh, it's
there's the river. There's the river. Here's the river.
Yeah, that's the wrong church. It's not even the big one.
I know it's not even the right one, but close. So, like for example, I'm just saying if we take this and then we do directions to the, if we do the directions to the Allianz Stadium, it's 34 minutes by bus, 16 minutes per car. So you have to.
You're looking right now, which is like in the middle of the night, right?
Yeah.
So if you were to do it at 5 p.m., probably when it would be all orange and red.
Yeah, right now it's 5. Yeah, it's 5 in the morning over there right now.
Yeah, on a Sunday. So yeah, you put that in prime time, it's gonna be probably an hour.
Yeah, it's not gonna be good. But yeah, because like for example, that's the thing about it. It's like because like they meet because like around Turin meets somewhere over here. This is like the main. Yeah, this is like the main cathedral, the main area. But again, it's just like for example for nightlife and for tourists and stuff like that. It's not really that beneficial. Like for example, if you put the stadium right here, hypothetically, you have more of a logistics, you have more hotels, you have more things around here, you have more things you can do. It makes you more willing when you're coming in to travel. Because, like, for example, if I'm coming in outside of Turin, I'm just coming to the stadium. This is look, this is your major expressway in Italy. Stadium's right here. You're not even looking to go inside the city center.
Yeah, you miss all that, honestly.
You miss all that.
Yeah, and you say it's not that far, but you have to understand, okay, I'm having a couple drinks. It's now prime
Parking.
time, rush hour.
Parking.
Yeah, if there's parking, or do I take a cab? Could I get a cab? How much is that cab? It's just looking at the map, it's not far, but when you're looking at the business of sports entertainment, it doesn't
good.
work.
Yeah. And again, this is just a random chapel I picked in the middle, the Cathedral of John the Baptist. But, like, you could be over here. You could be, again, over here in this area here. It's just one of those things where you look at it. It's just, again, if I'm there, if I'm traveling, again, expressway is right here, literally straight drive this way, and I'm going home and I'm getting out of the city.
Yeah, and okay, you can look at Bayern, but is that ideal?
But Bayern's tickets are a lot cheaper than ours.
And that's a factor as well. But it's still not an ideal situation. You look at the stadiums that are right downtown, right? So, okay, for instance, I did go to Seville. Teams, I know it's confusing. The city's called Seville, the team Sevilla. Now, I wasn't right downtown, but it was a 15-minute walk from the stadium. A walk. And there was bars, and I can just, like, go here, go there, whatever, stop in for a drink. That's not horrible. And they have 2 stadiums as well in the one city, like, basically in the city core. But if you look at the States, so why does everyone want to try to cop the States? Because, I mean, it works. The first time I saw it, the first time I went to the States and saw it in its glory, I was like, oh my, this is amazing. This is how it should be. I wish they did this in Canada. And they did start doing in Canada. And it's like, okay, so for instance, in Edmonton, it's freaking cold in Edmonton. Cold as hell. They have this whole, like, everything is connected through these like overhead walkways, but it's all enclosed. So when it's minus 40 outside, you're still comfortable and you can connect everywhere within that downtown core. And they figured out how to shove it into downtown Edmonton, which is very comparable because it's 1 million people, which is the same size as Turin.
Yeah, so
It
here
can be done, but it needs a lot of planning. And I understand there's a lot of historical buildings in Europe that you can't just knock necessarily.
So like for example, this is like the major city by me. So, like, again, you have your football stadium here, you have your baseball stadium that converts into a soccer field here, and then you have your ice rink / basketball court there, and then this whole strip here. So, like, for example, here it's the Fox Theater, which is, like, right over here. So you have theaters over here, you have nightclubs, you have restaurants in this area, the hotels, all of it. So, like, yeah, the Fillmore, this is where you can do concerts or movies.
Everything. It basically has all of the nightlife in
the entire nightlife. And then if you continue down this path here, you'll have some nightclubs. You have the Shanola Hotel. You've got a bunch of things: Cheesecake, Sugar Factory, Texas Day Brazil. So you have the entire entertainment sector. He's saying, I've went on multiple visits to Europe. I visit stadiums in each city. Some have it in the center, outskirts.
So what's your opinion? Which one?
Thomas, which one do you like more? Do you like it when it's in the city center? Or do you like it when it's more in the outskirts?
Because I know for me, it's such a pain in the ass to get into the city that I kind of just want to, whether it's the train, the cab, or if I'm driving, getting parking, like, that's it. I want to be settled down for the evening. I don't want to have to try to figure out bouncing around because it's expensive. And especially if it's a city you've never been to, you got to figure it all out, right? So, yeah, I mean, I like the sports entertainment complex.
Yeah, because, like, for example, Napoli, like, the Diego Armando Maradona is, like, literally right in the city.
Yeah.
And then,
but they also don't necessarily have a sports
maintain it
center, or maintain it. Yes,
it's like, yeah, they don't maintain it, but that's like one of those things where, again, Naples is a blue collar city, so you put a stadium right there, right in the heart of where, again, your consumer base is. So that's like one of those things where you look at it and you know tip your hats to them because it's smart. The only thing is they're just wasting money on it. And then let's look at San Siro as well.
Yeah, it's in there.
Is this, yeah. So like San Siro's a little bit out on the outskirts of it.
Milan's such a large city too, though. I
It
suppose
is.
you can't. Yeah, I
interesting.
mean it's
So
all city.
This whole thing is called the San Siro. Like this whole section. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is
But,
more of a sports complex.
Yeah. It's kind of like us, but because they have the main street right there, San Siro Stadio. And then Thomas says he has been to our stadium, walked to a bus stop within 30 minutes, was near my hotel. I had pizza on my way back. And Kevin usually gets a sandwich. No,
Yeah,
Kevin gets a sandwich from somewhere.
And again, it's not horrible. You can do it. Like 30 minutes isn't bad, but it's not gonna generate the most revenue and draw the most fan base, right? It's not the best for your value.
Yeah. So the thing is, I think Thomas is talking more so like, for example, coming in and staying there as like that. I'm talking about like, for example, say that, I live near, like, for example, let's use Bergamo.
Yeah. So I think what you're getting at, like, say we live in Turin and it's Wednesday night and there's a game.
Yeah. Like I live in Bergamo. I want to drive to watch Juve.
That's going to be a couple hours.
Yeah, I'm just picking Bergamo, like a 2-hour drive, or let's use Novara because I think Novara might be better.
Still, an hour 53, 2 hours.
Yeah,
3 hours if you take transit.
Novara, because like that's where most of Juve's fan base is like in cities like Novara or Morata.
And you have to think too. Like again, when I went to Sevilla, it was a 2-hour train ride and then a 20-minute walk. But like I was on vacation. That's what I was doing. That was my event. If I'm living in northern Italy and I want to catch the game, it's a Wednesday night, even a Sunday night, and just to like go and drop money for a random evening, it's a lot harder to sell when I know it's not going to be like a full experience. I'm literally just spending all that time and money just to get to the stadium. And yeah, I might get a pizza. Cool, whatever. And then I'm on my way back.
So like, for example, say that we're coming from Novara, Italy. It's roughly an hour drive to go watch Juve. If you look at the route, it doesn't even, so the city center is over here again, right? So it's right here.
Well, yeah, it will completely go around it. You will never hit the city center.
So you don't even hit it. So you're essentially coming off the expressway and you're landing right here. So, and then me as someone that's commuting there, and again, Juve's main fan base are commuters. You come in there and you're like, okay, well, now I have to move my car to go deeper into the city, and then I have to then go back out and then do a long drive again.
So he's saying San Siro seemed far from downtown, and there's nothing around. He got hungry, and nothing seemed appealing. So that's interesting. Okay,
that's an interesting take. But it's cool though, because like, for example, I wish, like, Thomas, when we get Kevin on stream, please, I hope you are watching that stream. Like if you're in our Discord
or post game tomorrow.
Yeah, Kevin is going to be on our post-game show. Kevin lives in Turin. I would love to see you guys have a conversation with each other. I think that would be awesome. Like if you're comfortable being on camera, like I would love to have you and Kevin sit there and talk to each other, because you've traveled Italy, you've been to San Siro, you've been to Turin. Kevin's also traveled throughout Europe, and again,
I'm going in September.
Stadium.
So in September, I can talk about it a bit more.
Yeah, I would love to have you and Kevin have this conversation, because Kevin's more knowledgeable about the city than we are. We're just looking at it. Looking at it from a Google Maps,
and it's good too, because around Turin organizes the bus and everything. So if you are, visiting, you can, join up and you go to the bar in town. Have a couple drinks, then you get on the bus. You get there an hour or two early. You have a couple more beers, some sausage, what have you. And it is that experience, but that's because around Turin is creating that experience. And they are filling that void because it exists.
Yeah,
it shouldn't exist is essentially, I think, what we're going at.
I think we need to do a dedicated stream with Kevin to talk about the city. Like, I think we need to sit him down for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, that'd be a good off-season thing, actually.
Yeah, that would actually be a good off-season thing where we just sit him down and talk about it. Because like tomorrow, if we lose, he's going to be pissed, and I don't want to bother Kevin when he's pissed.
And it's going to be late for him anyways, right?
Yeah.
To go home.
Like I want to do that. Like I think that's like a conversation that needs to that we need to have, where like Kevin will talk about ticket prices, groups of people that are in the stadium and whatnot, and kind of see how it is, because like, this is what me and Dave are thinking, and we're halfway across the world, across the pond per se. So it'd be interesting. And then again, like if Tom is there too, if Thomas is there as well, I think that would just be a great conversation with Thomas and Kevin to have, because like the value that you bring, Thomas, of being at the actual stadium itself, is like perfect, because there's not that many guys out there that have the experience. Like for example, Beppe is probably the only other person that actually has the in-stadium experience, because he's gone to the stadium a couple of times. Like Dave and I don't. That's why we rely on Kevin a lot. So it's one of those things where it's just like it's good to have people that are actually out there that can talk about it and comment on it, because I don't want to sit here and like talk about no one's making noise at the stadium and I'm not physically there to actually see it. Like we only see what Kevin shows us. So super cool.
All right, my puppy's making noise again. My wife's not home. That's why I keep on popping.
I gotcha.
Up
I think
let's kill this one.
Let's kill this one. We went 2 hours and 15 minutes. So Thomas has the final word. The location is not a deal, but it's not an excuse. It's a venue for a 2-hour event once a week on average.
Yeah, it just makes
cost.
it.
I think it's cost. I'm going at it from a cost perspective.
Cost and time. So it's just because it's less ideal. It has a bit less buy-in. So it generates less revenue, right? So
and it doesn't help that you don't have a good product on the pitch,
and that makes it worse. Yeah, we're kind of going around circles, anyways. We're sort of agreeing with slight disagreements in between.
So I think it's time to hit the music.
All right, let's hit this music. So Twitch tomorrow. That will be half an hour before the match when we start that, and then we will roll into a post game right after that
on the YouTube. So
on the YouTube, of course, yeah. Then we can talk about what we really want to talk about and drop some F-bombs.
Yeah, totally. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of the Call-In Show. Again, hopefully Masak fell asleep and isn't still watching us, because I know he does that sometimes. But anyways, guys, again, if you want to join the call-in show, again, we always throw the link in the chat if you want to come in and talk and tell how dumb we are, or talk about stadiums, or talk about, referencing Sam here. Click the link and talk on it. Don't make excuses like Frankie for saying that he's at work and just left work and doesn't want to talk to us. It's okay. I'm still here, Sam. Or I'm still here, Frankie. And same thing with Sam, listening to us while working out. I never realized I pump people up.
Oh boy! Well, when you're squeezing your
squeezing my nips. But anyways, guys, we'll see you tomorrow on Twitch, and then we'll see you back on YouTube for the post game. Dave, hit him with a goodbye.
Love you guys. Thanks for joining, and we will see you tomorrow. Whether it's the Twitch, the YouTube, be there with us to cry it out or celebrate. Till next time.